system that'll fuck up your mind. Here's the truth about the system that'll fuck up your mind. Here's the truth about the system that'll fuck up your mind. Here's the truth about the system that'll fuck up your mind. Here's the truth about the system that'll fuck up your mind. Here's the truth about the system. Here's the truth about the system that the truth about the system that'll fuck up your mind. The truth about the mind that'll fuck up your mind. That'll fuck up your the truth about that'll fuck up your truth about the system that'll fuck up your mind. Here's the truth about the system that'll fuck up your mind. Here's the truth about the system that'll fuck up your mind. Here's the truth about the system that'll fuck up your mind. Here's the truth about the system that'll
warning, 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 warning.
Truth about it that'll fuck up your the truth about it that'll fuck up your truth about it that'll fuck up your truth about the system that'll fuck up your mind.
Warning, 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 warning.
Truth about the system that'll
I was just like 230 because I like
Yeah, welcome to the Machine Lines, where we talk about the lines of the machine on the machine that lies. And, we got some critical reflections for you guys. I'm keeping this basically topical, in terms of the presentation here, right? The show, as we're running it, is almost in three parts. But here we're going to be talking about Taoism and the various interpretations of the Taoist idea. Is it about, at base nature, about becoming, right? Transformation of the self, right? This notion of transformation from within, right? Also driven through this notion of becoming, of combining with the Tao. So is it a movement towards the Tao, or is it simply um a explanation of the primordial essence of the nature of things, right? So one view is about attaining the nature, the knowledge and the nature of how things truly are, right? And that would be the crowleyan path of becoming, right? The other would be of, merging with the primordial essence, right? And primal simplicity, right? And not trying to attain, right, to any sort of ideal, right, in terms of chaos, right, or using chaos or using becoming in order to transform oneself, right. So the notion that you see in Seraphim Rose and his understanding of the Tao is a combination, right, of a man combining with the primordial essence, right? Or emerging through the primordial essence at the beginning of time without change, right? The Crowleyan interpretation is heavily driven towards change and the nature of being transforming itself from within. Why? Because this is an occult mode of understanding, right? It's trying to use the personal or the spiritual, right, as an extrapolation of the Tao, whereas in, you know, the words of Seraphim Rose, he's trying to use it to combine, right, with his understanding of how being and becoming, the one and the many, right, the material and immaterial, right, mind and the word, right, okay, and all of these things could merge, right, in terms of understanding the true nature of man. So both of them, see, this is what's interesting about both of these sort of Western interpretations of Eastern ancient philosophy, right? Is they're putting man at the central place of the philosophy, right? Okay. In the words of Saint Eusebius, right? Okay. He said, in order for man to become like God, God had to become like man, right? So it's about the transformative nature of being, right? But for Seraphim Rose, it's about merging with the primordial essence, right? And attaining to primal simplicity, sorry, and not about transformation from within, right? Trying to attain to the mastery of the will, right? But both of them are putting the idea of man at the central place, right? Whether it's about becoming or transformation from within, or it's about the nature of things. Okay. Give me 1 second, folks. Yeah. So the nature of being preserved through the essence of time, right? Whether it's preserved through mankind, right, or preserved by man combining himself with the nature and essentially becoming one, right, in the essence of being, right? It all has to do with the transformative nature of mankind and the nature of change, right? So man is placed at the central theme of, whether you want to look at Seraphim Rose translation, right, or if you want to look at the Crowleyan translation, right, man is put at the central being, right, the central theme or the central being, right? And if we look at the Tao itself, right, man is one of the great powers in the universe, as it says. The Tao is great, heaven is great, right? The earth is great, and mankind is also great, right? And it says that, you know, man follows the earth follows heaven, and heaven follows the Tao, and the Tao follows what is natural. Okay. So to say, there's not exactly a hierarchy of being, right? But there is a nature of being that runs through each and everything, right? And that is important to realize, right? So whether you want to talk about this as logos, right? Or one essence that can change through time into whatever exists, right? Right? It's all a combination of how you bring in the nature of being, right? Thanks for being here, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and go through the chat here and see who's here before we look at these two readings here. Blessings. Austin Murphy, thank you for being here. Lizard Tree, bless you. Gary Barrett, Police, Ghost in the Machine. I've never heard that one before. That seems like an interesting, little thing. Crystal Shaman, blessings for being here. Suit. Blessings so much. Yeah, thank you for being here. Yeah, peace be with you, my friend. Denise, good evening to you. Gary Barrett, thank you for joining, I believe, for the first time. Lizard Tree. Dr. D Head, I greatly appreciate you. Plasma Void, thank you for being here. Blue Chunks, never seen you here before. I really appreciate you, and of course we have our friend Firestarter from one of the very first episodes of the Machine Lives. I mean, a great homie. I really appreciate him for coming through. He just got in trouble for parking his truck. but yeah, blessings to him for being here and joining me here regardless. I mean, of all the, time restrictions and all the stuff, and blessings to you on your journey. My friend, if you want to come say hi to the people, here, hold on. Let me try to. Got the homie. Blessings, homie. Yeah, if you guys don't know, from one of the first episodes of the Machine Lies, our Vietnamese friend Firestarter, Mexican. Blessings. But yeah, thank you for being here, and yeah, thank you, Mama Sue Lee. All you people. Okay, I greatly appreciate you guys. But yeah, we're looking at a non-Asian, Western rendition of ancient philosophy, and we'll be beginning with the Crowleyan translation. Of course, I'll throw the link out here in the chat. Amen. And we'll spend just a little bit of time on Crowley's view, right? Okay, and then about the next hour of this, right? Okay, we're gonna move to the view of Father Seraphim Rose, right? And I'm gonna finally get some sleep out here. Blessings to you guys. Right? So let's move to the Crowleyan translation here. Okay, and I hope you guys appreciated a little bit of that introduction, right? And it'll help frame some of these issues. Because what I've noticed, that both of them, because they're focused on a Western understanding, right? They're talking about the true nature of man and, sort of interpersonal psychology. And of course, the great push of the West, as we saw, has been in, freedom and reason and, mastery of nature. So you can't have mastery of nature within the Tao, right? But you can have a sort of understanding, right, of individualism, right, that's not based in egoism, right? That's instead based on self-reliance, right? And not as I said, reliance on the division of labor within the society, right? Or the methods of cultural refinement, right? So we don't have that, right? So yeah, let me go to this. Yeah, and we read 33 last time, right? I don't know if you guys are seeing this on the screen. Here, hold on. Let me go back to the. Okay, now I'm not seeing the screen. Okay, there it is. All right. So chapter 34, the method of attainment, right? And we're gonna highlight the major themes here. Okay, now notice that he's talking about immanence, right? Right as I said, that Crowleyan view is about transformation from within, right? Okay. Okay, he's talking about the idea of immanence, right? Which is as opposed to the notion of transcendence, right? Okay, so the notion of immanence is all about spiritual qualities and personal development and about inner potential, inner potentialities, right? Okay, the notion of transcendence is about relating to, right? Okay, drawing in, right, the transcendental qualities, right? But immanence, right, that's about transformation from within, right? So notice he says the Tao is immanent, right? That means it exists within each thing. So now he's phrasing it, he's framing the Taoist ideal in terms of the notion of the divine spark, right? Okay. Set it extended to the right, hands as to the left, all things derive from it, their being, right? So here's this notion of oneness or the monistic quality, right? Okay. Now, when Seraphim Rose talks about oneness, he's not going to be talking about the nature of being itself. He's going to be talking about the essence of things, right? Okay, oneness at the heart of existence, right? Instead of in the totality of things, right? Blessings. So he said it created them and all comply with it. Its work is done and it proclaimeth it not. Okay, it is the ornament of all things. Yet it claimeth not fief. Okay, that means rulership, right? Like fiefdom, right? Of them, there is nothing so small that it inhabiteth not. Okay, now notice the Tao here, as in the notion of immanence, is also indwelling, right? And informeth it, all things return without knowledge of the cause thereof. There is nothing so great that it inhabiteth not and informeth it. Okay. So the Tao is represented as knowledge, right? In this manner also made the sage perform his works. Okay, notice works with a capital W, right? Okay, it's like the arts, right? The craft, right? Is by not thrusting himself forward that he winneth to his success. Okay, now that whole idea, okay, that you could overcome by minimal effort, right? And obviously overcome by stillness, right? Movement requires effort. Okay, but to engage things through stillness, okay, that is more efficient. Now let's go to 34. Or actually, yeah, I'm sorry, we're keeping with the Crowley translation here for a second. Okay, we're gonna get to like, and we got the homie here. Blessings.
Oh,
Hey,
I thought
greeting.
you were talking to me. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Because you know that, like, how can a form inhabit a procreation of itself that it never inhabited before? That's how I say about death. You know what I'm saying? How can death be a situation and a circumstance that is unknown to the collective, to the eye consciousness of reality, if death wasn't once inhabited? You know what I mean? You
Oh
know what
yeah,
I'm saying? And it's
yeah,
like
definitely.
they're like the
Yeah.
English, like the English language, because you know language is just a alternative. It's just your vibrational frequency. That's why we're all DTs and gods, because you create your own language through how you frequentize the reality that you're ordained to by consciousness. You know what I'm saying, machine? So
Yeah,
it's like,
definitely. Yeah, blessings. Yeah, thank you for joining. Yeah, I
yeah,
appreciate it.
big, big blessing machine. And I don't know if I
Yeah.
look crazy or not. You know what? I really do care, but I
No, you're
don't.
looking good. No, you're looking good though.
but,
Yeah, definitely.
but motherfucking, and you know, my precious. That's what I'm saying. And then my mother nature, you know, and then she go. So it's like, how can you consciously invoke a substitution of life if you never invoked it within its own subconsciousness? You know what I mean? So it's like when people say, because I'm married to death, me consciously, because I married my own definition of non-existence within the forms of reality that were indoctrinated by my surroundings that I never knew in life. I was born deaf. I was dead from being born into a circumstance that subjectified my sequencing with God's resonation of my existence as a degradation towards their existence. So I was basically born an enemy without my own existence of life. That's very sad, you know. But I'm not to go on getting my feelings, you know, and to get too deep. But you know,
Yeah, but you raise a valid point in terms of, how do you know,
oh wait, wait, let me get
you,
Machine, let me get off
yeah,
a
go ahead.
camera real quick so I can really listen because you know I'm over here and then you know I'm gonna beauty them
Yeah, no
because you
worries.
know we
Yeah, no
women,
worries. Yeah,
we
it's no problem. Yeah.
women. So I say I'm here again. So you know, shout out to my red moon, my love ya, my love ya, mama. All right, let me see if I go more. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay, yes, sir. I'm listening.
Yeah, blessings. Yeah, blessings also. Yeah, it's no worries.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the main thing I'm saying is that how do you know how powerful you are? You mean unless you're basically ready to die. Now that's where the Tao comes in and actually says,
Mm,
you know,
mm,
those who die but do not perish, they're actually eternally present, right? So death is the
mm.
anchor of all of existence. I mean, so that's the thing is that death is not an ending. Obviously there's a famous story where Shang Tzu, his wife dies and he's in the shower singing. I mean,
Yeah.
so there's all these ideas about death, about how you have strength, about how death is actually part of the continuity of life. And that's where I come to the idea of becoming. You know what I mean, right?
Mm.
Because how do you know how much strength you have until as I said, you're ready to die, right? and
Right.
and death is actually when you find out how much strength you have,
Have.
so
Right. I feel you.
right,
I
right, so
feel
it's
you.
an expansion of so death itself can be seen, you know obviously sacrifice, when we come to, the Seraphim Rose, translation, it's all about sacrifice, right?
Mhm.
So, so
But it would.
yeah, go ahead.
It's like machine. Why would you have to sacrifice yourself towards something that you never knew it's like, okay, I'm sacrificing myself towards something. I'm just putting my imagination towards, okay, the door. I'm sacrificing myself to you. But I never knew that being sacrificial was a crime because you never saw it as a crime because you're still living in this existence. So it was never a crime. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like who's the sacrifice offered to? You know what I'm saying?
It's like who is to ordain sacrifice as sacramental? Who is to give that entitlement to that sacrament but God? How can God not be entitled into ordainment of existence of life if they weren't first ordained within its own existence? Why you make me
Right.
use big words on here? I love you, machine. But it's like, how can you be subjectified towards something that doesn't even signify or acknowledges its own existence? So how can I signify my death towards you if you never knew death within its own existence, aka you? So it's like it gets deep in this bitch. And I don't
Yeah, I
mean
mean,
to like, curse or anything if I'll stop if but what I'm talking. But it's like it just gets very deep because and then this is what like tables my turns. It's like how can you objectify my life towards something that I didn't even objectify my life towards? How can you ordain me to live a certain type of way that objectifies your existence when I didn't even objectify my own? You know what I'm saying? I'm my own existence. So how can I objectify you towards something that I have no ordainance to? I'm not ordainance towards your own existence. You are the God of your own. And that's why I respect everybody, Machine. I respect everybody's existence. I respect everybody's because I'm not against anybody because it's like without the collective, what are we? Who are we? If we can't turn left and right and at a drop point, like bolt, you know what I'm saying there? It's like how are we existing in a real true form of life full of allowing itself to live and allowing itself to be lived through love. Love is allowing existence through all forms and all realms of reality, no matter transgression, no matter if we have we fight, we bump heads, but at the end of the day, we're only bumping heads with ourselves because that's a form of our own consciousness. Otherwise, it wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? Our existence mirroring itself is love within itself, is love within its own ordainments. Because without existence, love is not existent at all.
oh yeah, yeah, definitely. No,
Yeah.
existence is one, and nature is an intelligent spirit. That's why I think that this whole idea of eminence and you know, seeing that you know, as a lot of these Taoist people, they saw death as a return to the primordial essence, right? So in that way, they didn't actually understand, so they saw the whole idea of sacrifice and war, and birth, as sort of the same process, right? So in terms of I guess change and becoming, it's all part of one, being. So so that's the thing is that, ever as it says is that the manifestations are all part of one, right? But they all come from, nameless being, right, which is infinite. So the nature, so life, although life has a beginning and an end, it comes from one essence that doesn't have a beginning or an end, right? So that's one thing that they
Wait,
talk about
wait,
here as
wait.
well.
What do you mean by that? That life comes from existence that doesn't have a beginning or an end?
Yeah, like everything has a beginning and an end, right? Like life, like the nature of being, right?
Yeah, I believe that. So,
But that doesn't mean that it changes, right? Right? So I mean, it just returns, right, to the same essence of being that it came from. So just
Oh, I
because
get
there's
you. I get you. Like the
yeah,
infinity sign, like the eight. Okay.
yeah, yeah, just because things
Yeah.
have a beginning and an end doesn't mean that there's actually movement. The essence of being is still one being of stillness, right?
Yeah.
So you can have yeah.
That's what I was saying earlier, Machine. I was like, the absence of like recovery is not installing stillness within your consciousness. So just because you're consciously aware, so some people say, oh, well, that's heard through the grapevine, or even my own family, they say, when you stop using your mind, you just lose it, spirit evaporation. But it's like, how can your spirit be evaporated in the essence that conscious within its own mind? So if nothing is my consciousness, how is that evaporating? How is that not my own consciousness of living? You know what I mean? Like it's like, okay, I'm in nothing, right? And then I dwell in nothing, and then I essence in nothing, and then nothing becomes my consciousness. What is that? What is nothingness becoming my consciousness? What is that? So if I
Well,
if I actually have the what you say, machine?
I just feel like, like how they say nothing is non-existent, right? So once you experience nothingness, you're actually experiencing the one being of all consciousness, in my opinion. I mean, right? So,
Mm,
I mean, I have yet to, find somebody, like I said, nothing is a mystery. You can't define
mm,
nothing. You mean, right? You can't
mm,
experience nothing. You mean,
mhm,
uh, so,
mm,
for all intents and purposes,
yes.
I
Let me
think
see.
there's
I'm gonna say the truther, not to, but this your program. What you say, machine? I'm intrusive. I just love your
no, that's
energy. It's so vibrational.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
it's
Yeah, of
such a
course. Yeah, he's
blessing.
got a good energy. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, blessings.
Okay, let me
Yeah.
get up out of here so I can hear y'all in the back. I love all of you. Anybody that's on Machine Live,
Thank
anybody
you.
that tapped in Machine is like that's my totem next, my totem pencil. You know what I'm saying? Well, I love
Thank
you
you,
so much.
homie. Blessings. Yeah, thank you so much. I love you too. Blessings to you. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Especially for giving those reflections, on the nature of being and the essence of creation, and also about death and the oneness of all being, and about the nature of love. She touched on a few things. That's gonna be figuring into the design of this conversation. Yeah. Yeah, Denise says nothing is something. That's one way of looking at the primordial essence of being. But see, nothing is used not for being, but rather for becoming. Right? So it gets more to becoming than being. But but yeah, thank you to Truther for being here. And of course the link is there in the chat. Let me go up here.
Greetings. I was afraid to speak because when it came in, I was oh, my delay wasn't it?
Yeah.
My connection terrible. When I
No,
came
no,
in, I couldn't even hear you guys, so I assumed it was bad if I waited to speak. Oh Lord, I'll have to drop out.
no, it's fine. It's chilling. But
Oh, good.
yeah.
Okay. When I first came in, the screen was black. I couldn't hear you guys. It took like a minute to catch up, and then all of a sudden, it was it was wild.
Yeah.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, for sure, homie. But yeah, it says 35, the goodwill of the Tay. It says the whole world is drawn to him that had the likeness of the Tao. Men flock to him, suffer no ill, but gain repose and find peace, enjoy all ease. Sweet sounds and cakes lure the traveler. Oh man, it's on a different page. Give me a second. Oh,
Oh, we're getting lowered to the second page here.
oh fuck! I just accidentally closed that bitch. Son of a bitch.
Oh my!
A second.
You Lord the Travelers in. Here they come. What's this next verse, dude?
It's chilling. All right. I gotta put this back up. Give me a second, folks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't seen Awesome in forever.
Yeah, Truther is louder. Yeah, give me a second.
Freaking dude, it was such a wild experience when I came up here. My phone's been acting up all day. The way of the tag.
Yeah, I'll just. Yeah, sorry about this. Turn myself up here. And yeah, it's fine. We'll just deal with it. But yeah, let me pull this up. Yeah, so sweet sounds and cakes lured the traveler from his way, but the word of the Tao, okay, though it appear harsh and insipid or unworthy to the unworthy to hearken, excuse me, or to behold, hath his use all inexhaustible. Okay, so look for it; it can't be seen. I mean, so the Tao is basically, intangible, right? It's indescribable, right? It's mysterious, right? Those who have it, people flock to them, right? But there's no exhausting. It's like sort of supply, right? So see, things are rare because they're not in, you know, they're not abundant. I mean, but that's not what the Tao. The Tao is both rare and abundant. I mean, it's trying to say, which
Yeah.
Yeah.
The essence is the word that's the word I'm into.
Yeah, essence I'm using is because of the Western ideas and translations, right? So in terms of Seraphim Rose, he's gonna very much rely on the word essence. He actually uses the word primordial essence of all being. Right? But for Crowley, he's dealing with more becoming, right? He's not dealing with transcendental notions. He's not dealing with all of those ideas. So he's just dealing with immanence and potentialities and all that type of stuff. Exactly. 36 chambers. I mean, yeah, hiding of the light, which is very interesting. I mean, right? There's a interesting X-Files episode, where they have a creature hiding in the light. Right? And a man in the office complains that there's a creature hiding in the light and it's transforming the workplace people to zombies. Right. And I think the main line in the episode is Fox Mulder, where he says, is he is he crazy because he sees it, or does he see it because he's crazy? Wild line in the show. I mean, but yeah, hiding in the light.
And if he sees it, it's gonna make him crazy, even if he's not.
Yeah, hiding in the light. It's funny that he put it in terms of, mercurial hermeneutics, right? Hermes hiding in the light. Mercury, right? Hidden by, the light of the sun. So that's why it's seen as the trickster, right? So hiding in the light is also about the trickster, right? Hermes. So it's sort of hermetic, so he's sort of showing his hand, right? When he's using terms like Vivica, right? When he's using notions like hiding in the light, right? he's talking about transformation from within, right? So yeah, let me move on a little bit here. And it doesn't look like we'll get through too many chapters here today. You know what I mean? With all my explanations here, right? So, you know, I mean, at the hour mark, I'll play some music, maybe, or around there. But yeah, we'll figure it out. But yeah, the hiding of the light. In order to draw breath, all right. First, empty the lungs to weaken another. First, strengthen him to overthrow another. First, exalt him to despoil another. First, load him with gifts. This is called the occult regimen. Okay, it's getting very strange up in here. All right. Okay, in order to draw breath, first empty the lungs to weaken another. First, strengthen him to overthrow another. First, exalt him to despoil another.
Dude, this reminds me of Andrew Tate. So Andrew Tate, like the first thing he would do is like he would gift the chick that he wants to do whatever with, like the groom or whatever, with gifts. Give her a bunch of gifts. His whole philosophy is wild.
Yeah, let me try to check on the. See, I actually need help here, right? Because this whole occult regimen stuff is getting a little bit hairy here. So he's totally restyled this chapter, right? So let me go look at the Philip Ivanhoe translation of 36 and see if we can make heads or tails out of what he's saying here, right? 36. When you intend to shrink, you first must stretch. When you intend to weaken, you first must strengthen. What you intend to abandon, you first must make flourish. Okay. So that totally clears things up, right? Okay.
So this is the
So,
Crowley translation
oh
that
yeah.
we're reading now. Oh, I
Yeah.
see how he twisted the words there. Okay. The occult
Oh yeah.
regimen there, yeah.
Yeah. So he's saying that essentially, okay, if you want to okay, you got to empty the person by filling their breath, right? So first you put the person in a meditative state, right? Okay, and then you essentially make them pliable, right? So, this would be like kind of like a hazing process, right? So
Right.
then you strengthen by weakening, right? And then another thing is that you make them master certain forms and then later they'll abandon them. You know what I mean, right?
And you're the one to tell them they're the master of those forms and you can take it away.
Oh
Like
yeah.
as this teaching is proposing.
Yeah, it's like when you reach the last step, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, by the way, you're just a beginner now."
Well, I
You know what I mean,
had a
right?
thought. I mean, looking at it, um, the other two anyway. Like, if you were wanting to make somebody weak, they have to be strong first before you can make them weak and take their strength away from them. If you want to despoil somebody, they have to have something first before you
Right.
can despoil them. And so I'm not sure if the purpose is the despoiling or, if you give, the purpose might be to despoil them. So you give them things so that you can despoil them.
Yeah, and of course you're hiding the process from them as you're doing it.
Yes.
So this is the thing is why he's calling it an occult regimen.
Because
I
they
mean,
don't know that the reason that they're doing it is to overthrow them, to make them weak. I guess empty the lungs. I'm sure that's part of the analogy, but that sort of thing. That to take power from you, you have to have power first.
Yeah. And it's funny because the next line he says exactly that. He says the soft conquer the hard, the weak pull it down the strong. You know?
The method of government must be concealed from the people.
Right. And that's a obviously very common teaching. In the Tao, the best rulers are shadowy presence. The way of government have to be concealed from the people. Basically bamboozle the people. And also let them rule themselves. I mean, so that is all part of the method here. And yeah, so 37, and this is where I think it's 37 or 38 where the second book begins. Yeah, definitely 38 where the second book begins. So maybe I'll just read this 37 and then we'll begin at the second book next time. Maybe with this, let me see how many minutes I am into the show. 55 minutes. Yeah, that's fine. So
Okay. Well, I'll go back and chat. That was my only observation so far.
yeah, blessings, Creek Mary. Thank you so much. Yeah, we've
Bye.
had lot. Yeah, thank you. We've had lots of excellent participation today. I really appreciate when you guys do that. Even if it's just for a second. If you have like a reflection, you hop up on stage and share your reflection. It's powerful stuff as always. I mean, but yeah, 37. The right use of government, the Tao proceedeth by its own nature, doing nothing, therefore there is no doing which it comprehendeth not. Okay. All right. Obviously, the Tao engages all things while doing nothing, right? It engages all things through stillness, right? Like I said in the previous chapter, by expanding, and, also, like I said, by becoming supple, right? And also, as it's said, by um taking on the highest sort of task, but not really focusing on praise and blame, or and dwelling in the place where people reject, right? So the Tao is unique, right? It's rare, right? It's expansive, right? It's sort of immutable, right? And it's sort of limitless, right? For a sort of rudimentary description here, etch a sketch, right? So, and of course, we've given a lot more than an etch a sketch throughout the various translations we've read. We've read over 4 translations of the Tao Te Ching and explained some of the key concepts here, right? And it says here, and of course, we've done the same with some of the texts of Buddhism, Hinduism, well, I mean, we will be doing so for Buddhism, but we've done so for Hinduism, Zoroastrianism, Gnosticism, right? And other ideas, right? From the 4th to the 2nd century, right? And maybe someday we'll reflect on Neoplatonists' thought, or, Kabbalistic thought, or some of those other forms of thought, right? But yeah, the right use of government, the Tao proceedeth by its own nature, doing nothing. Therefore, there is no doing which it comprehended not. If kings and princes were to govern in this manner, all things would operate aright by their own motion. Okay. So that goes with the last chapter, right? The person who rules by not intervening, right? By doing his work and then, not making a show of it, right? So it says, if kings and princes were to govern in this manner, all things would operate aright by their own motion. If this transmutation were my object, I should call it simplicity. Okay, there's that word, simplicity. I told you guys this word is no fucking game, right? Complexity imbues assimilation, right? And simplicity is the cornerstone of virtue, right? Put that on a fucking t-shirt, right? For all the little losers out there. Okay, big themes for little losers. Blessings. Simplicity hath no name nor purpose, silently and at ease. All things go well. All right. Silently and at ease, all things go well. Well, that brings us to Father Seraphim Rose. Okay. And the powerful, powerful, powerful reflections that we'll be looking at there, right? From, I think, the next 4 or 5 chapters here. You know, what say you, truther? You know, blessings to you, sir.
Well, do you want to know about the time that I first heard of Father Seraphim Rose?
Yeah, sure. That'll be a great
Well,
intro.
yeah. So EBT made a community post one day saying that, alleging that I was like the reincarnation of him or some shit. I never heard of him before. I'm like, who the fuck is this dude? But I can't grow a beard like that. Worth shit, dude. I don't even know what the fuck he was saying because that dude had some awesome fucking beard going on. He had a whole mystique. Unlike Aleister Crowley here. My goodness.
Yeah, blessings. I mean, lex animata, when the seeker and the sought become one. Exactly. Nowhere, knowing and knowledge are one. Right. So yeah, let's okay, we're an hour into this. Let's go to a musical break and we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Thank you guys so much for being here. Right?
Sounds good, man. I'm gonna charge up my phone.
Yeah.
From my conversation, I see you don't know me like that. 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 But these motherfuckers do. Born in Guyana, raised in Brooklyn. Bring that sensational shit. Every time I spit it, I make money off the radar. Face you with my DJ skills. If you talking some bullshit I don't wanna hear, I'm real in your ear. Every time I appear, quick lesson. I'm about my paper. One man band, I recommend. Spoke something into my zone. One of a kind, blow your mind. I got that natural shine. Get you know me like that. You don't 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 know me like that. But these motherfuckers do. Like that. Yeah, I rock the spot. Hot it up a lot. All with my shit and I keep it like that. Next level shit when you fucking with me. Raw material, my forte, my flavor taste it. I'm busy with the bliss, baby, define it. Got your freak down on it. You don't know me like that. 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 These motherfuckers do. Better mothers raise better daughters. They get deep in 3 feet water. Baptize $1 and bring back 100. I came from swerving on you blunted. I groove on the groove, how I do. I'm on for the cause, too hot to touch. I bring the raw deluxe, fuck the airwaves up. Shout out to that famous DJs, hear me be on the cut. Watch on the frenzy, I be about. I came from my get busy route. I got this track in action, my flow priceless, and I got it in the bag. Bag, bag, bag. I see. You don't know me like that. You don't know me like that. You don't know me like that, like that. These motherfuckers do. Like that. Plant Eaters Production. You don't know me like that. You don't know me like that. You don't know me like that. But these motherfuckers
Yeah, so a little bit of discordians versus accelerationists in that clip, right? And obviously, battle for the heart of the Tao between Crowley and Seraphim Rose. So yeah, let's go to Father Seraphim Rose and see what he's got to say about the Tao. Where? All right, give me 1 second, folks. Got a lot of tabs open today. But yeah, here is 34 in Seraphim Rose. And we'll look at how the Tao interacts with the life and teachings of Jesus Christ, right? Now, of course, I said you still have the idea of transformation, right? But it's man combining with the primordial essence, right? Okay. Instead of transformation from within, right? It's about realization of the true nature of being, right? So let's go to Father Seraphim Rose here. And let me put myself on the bottom here. And maybe zoom into this a little bit. Yeah, there we go. So it says a band of soldiers stripped the king of the universe, right? It's raised to be lowered, right? Just as it said in the other translation, right? Right. Okay, let me see where it's what actually it said, right? Okay, it said first load him. Okay, says to despoil another, first load him with gifts, right? Right, remember that? To put on him a scarlet robe. They placed a crown of thorns on his head and a reed in his right hand. They bowed the knee before him and mocked him, saying, "Hail, O king," and spat upon him, and took the reed and smote him on the head. Then taking the robe off him, they put his own tattered raiment on him and led him away to kill him. If it were not laughed at, said the ancient sage, it would not be the way, right? So the idea of mockery, right? The idea of uniqueness, right? The idea of dwelling in the place where people reject, right? That doesn't diminish the quality, right, of the essence of all being, right? Actually, it's mockery among the commonplace that makes it greatness, right? So this idea that Lao Tzu had about going against social conformity, going against cultural refinement, very radical message that he taught, right? Okay. And of course, it's linked to all of the ideals of liberty and freedom and self-realization and all that kind of stuff, right? Right. One of the cornerstones of the ideas of individualism, right, and humanism themselves, right? So he says, right? Again, the ancient sage said, lofty virtue is like an empty valley. Okay, lofty virtue is like an empty valley. Okay, thus did the way of heaven empty himself to the lowest places. Okay, the nadir of the valley, right? But in finding it, he was raised up, raised upon a cross, right? Raised to be lowered, right? Okay, and this is the idea of becoming great through sacrifice. Or in other words, becoming honored, right? Okay, by being like sort of emptied out or disgraced. Right? And now he says his hands outstretched before the world, as if calling the people, but his hands pierced with nails remained empty. And he said, I thirst, right? Okay. Obviously, right? We begin with the open hands, right? And we leave with open hands, right? And everything we have, we got from somewhere else, and everything that's given to us will be given to someone else.
I mean, that just reminds me of like like why Yahuwah in the Bible versus like God. And when you go back to I forget what Yod He Vav He, behold the hand, behold the nail, right? And so Father Seraphim Rose has taken the Tao Te Ching and then like try to like make it apply to Christianity so the Christians could like, or to like bring the Taoists to Christianity, I suppose.
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. That's one way of looking at it, but he's also looking at the extremely rare philosophy that exists in the Gospels, right? About natural simplicity, the primordial essence, about the one true nature of things, and about how it could be something that is among the commonplace people, right?
Right.
Seen as, you know, something basically unwanted. Right? So he's materialized that and said, well, how could Christ not be the essence of all creation since he so clearly embodied, right, the Tao itself, right?
Right. He's basically arguing that Jesus was the way of the Tao.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that he exactly taught, and he gives one-to-one comparison, especially in chapter 20 of Jesus' teaching, right? Like the first shall be last, the last shall be first, right? He who lives by the sword dies by the sword, that and many other teachings, right? And shows about his teaching of simplicity, his teaching of, sort of not following the ways of social conformity, right? And yeah, so he's explained that very clearly here, and he says, and see, when he's talking about Christ, and then he later reflects the ancient sage, right? So he's comparing his teachings to the ancient sage, which he is saying is Lao Tzu, right? So he's saying,
yeah, he's referring to Lao Tzu with reverence as well.
Right. So he's saying,
As he
he
should be,
said,
if he's taking his work. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, like down here, he's going to talk about how Lao Tzu's teaching relates to his, right? So he's saying, I thirst for the one lost sheep who has departed from the way, for I have loved him, he who had once been my friend, with whom I had held sweet converse in the garden, has nailed me to a tree like unto the tree of the garden from which he plucked the fruit. For greater love has no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friend. He who loves the world as himself. What the hell? What the fuck is this thing? What the fuck? Okay, I don't know what just happened.
Got all sorts of bonus features in this version.
Probably downloaded some type of virus from Russia. I don't know. But yeah, he who loves the world as himself said the ancient sage, may not the world well be trusted to his care? Okay, so this is one actually Unseen Warfare pretty much quoted this line too, right? That he actually said it's the most Christian teaching that he's ever heard outside of Christianity. I mean, it does sound very Christian, right?
Well, it basically sounds like a direct translation of parts of the Bible.
Yeah. Yeah, love the world as yourself, right? Okay. And it actually says that he who takes the suffering of the world on himself. That actually says that, right? So yeah, you're right. It also says to die but not to perish, is to be eternally present. Right. Obviously the path of simplicity, harmony with all life, obviously the idea of the lilies of the field being more you know resplendent than Solomon in all his glory, right? So it obviously prizes nature, right? And says that nature does not have to toil, right? So it talks about the grace of God and applies it to nature. In Matthew 6:26, all the way down. Okay. So let me go on. It says that a man laid down his life for his friend. He who loves the world as himself, said the ancient sage, may not the world well be trusted to his care? And the way in his love for the world said, if I be lifted up from the earth, I will draw all people unto me, drawing together those who have scattered themselves, those who have left me alone, yea, even those who have hammered nails into the very hands that are drawing them.
Wow.
If a thing is brought low, there must be a return. If a thing is raised up, there must also be a return. Okay. So think about that in relation to what was being discussed when we read chapter 36 in Crowley.
It sounded like random stock advice to me.
Yeah, but in Crowley, that's what we're literally reading. In order to draw breath, first empty the lungs, to weaken another, first strengthen him, to overthrow another, first exalt him.
Right.
So even in the opposite sort of ideal, right, the Tao and its words and its ideas still remain, pretty much the same. I mean, very interesting. I mean, it goes on to
It's been
say,
true since it was written. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, and it goes on to say, I mean, so it's talking about this idea of raised to be lowered, of returning to pure simplicity, right? And that the greatest things are subject to this. Actually, the greatest things are the ones that could do it with the greatest ease. Right. So it says, this is the way of heaven. Therefore, the ancient sage, follower of the way, said, the hard and mighty shall be laid low. The humble and weak shall be exalted. Okay. And the way, when he took flesh, said, everyone who exalts himself shall be abased. and he who humbles himself shall be exalted. Okay, total parallel there. There must be a return, right? That's what I just said. Return to pure simplicity, right? Lower me to the lowest point, says the way. In this I shall be raised to the highest. You may, O man, have exalted yourself, and thus you have lowered yourself. To self-love, to things of the senses. See then how you may be raised up once more to your primitive origin, to your true nature, right? Before the fall, right? Primordial essence. And notice he said that, notice he said that the one who plucked the apple from the tree is the same one who, punished him, essentially. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Self-love, things of the senses, that is the essence of the fall itself. The fall from the primordial essence, the true nature of things, right? See then how you may be raised up once more to your primitive origin, your true nature. Behold in me the way to follow. I go the way before you, for I have loved you and care nothing for myself. Behold in me the way to follow. Take away my life. In this I shall not only gain life, but like a seed that falls to the ground and dies, I shall give unending life to all. Okay, so there is the... See, that brings full circle what I was talking about with Asut, right? That death is actually eternal rebirth, right? We
I
got
saw a
some
whole
other
video to
homies.
flip that paradigm because so there's a oh wow, we got a few people. So like I saw one video where we already died because we were the sperm that made it to the egg, and we died, and we had a whole life there that expand like based on quantum mechanics and all that shit. It was like a whole lifetime with God, and then we really were living our death over again instead of living right now, like we're remembering our death. It was this whole new perspective I'd never heard just the other day. Fucking algorithms and wild. What's up, y'all?
Yeah, but literally says, as we were saying, that through death, unending life was given to all. You know what I mean? And by, the goal to obviously preserve life and to gain knowledge, and to disobey God, death entered, entered the world. Right? So it's like, okay, I think the homie is trying to enter again, but it's like all blacked out or whatever. So,
Listen.
yeah.
I gotta
what's up,
fuck with
dude?
these guys. So I need you to get some rest. Stop drinking. Stop taking. Like, hold on a second.
Shit.
There was so much background noise. I didn't know what was going on earlier. I didn't hear you earlier, dude. What's up? But, dude, this is an excellent reading. I'm glad I joined the panel for this. I like to hear this.
Hello.
Yo.
Yeah. What's up?
Hey, Machine Lies 666, or I forgot. But the other day when I left, I actually had to go because the police showed up at my house. My bad. But I don't want to get into it. Truth the Cop, how you doing, brother? Both of you guys.
Yeah, what's up?
Dude, this reading is awesome. I hope you're listening to this because this is some awesome shit. Dude.
Did you say what's up, nigga?
He could say that, but I can't apparently. But that's not what was said. No. What was it? Was that what was said?
No, I could say whatever I want to say. I'm the arbiter. Nigga, faggot, Nazi, loser, bitch, whore. All the bad words are at my disposal tonight. So, I mean, I'm not trying to offend people, but if it triggers your fucking people, then so be it. I remember I was so pro like fucking Antifa for 6 years. But let's not talk about me. How you guys doing tonight?
Yo, is this the late night FM DJ version of Insanity Machine?
It's Grant. Who is this guy? Who's speaking? Because if so, I got to yell at you about methylene blue, the first synthetic medication ever made.
Truth the cop. What's up with the N word? Brett Boyle said it. It's
Brett
okay.
Boyle said that shit, dude. Well, I don't want to.
I'll say nigga.
Yeah, I'm about to move on. Yeah, I'm about to straight up move on, and let's just keep mind our P's and Q's in terms of the TOS. Thank you so much, because I'm just trying to read the Dow here. But yeah, blessings.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
I forgot about the TOS.
No, you didn't. but anyways,
Oh,
give me
no,
a
I
second.
actually did.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it says, "Take away my life. In this I shall not only gain life, but like a seed that falls to the ground and dies, I shall give unending life to all. Destroy me, mock me, humiliate me. In this I shall overcome the world, tear down the temple of my body. I shall raise it again in 3 days." Right. So the idea of, destruction, death, bringing eternal life, obviously very present in the scheme of the Gospels, right? And it goes into the more idea of rejecting social conformity, how something that's commonplace, could be evil. How something that is rare could be limitless, yet, the truth. So all of these concepts are sort of you see, the truth seems sort of paradoxical. But it goes down to, it says, "Tear down the temple of my body. I shall raise it again in 3 days. I will be the lowest, the most dishonored, sorrowful, tortured of all men. That of all men I may be raised up,
sir,
not for my own glory, not for my own glory."
You think this is narcissism? The gospel is not narcissism. If I may ask you a question.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just give me 1 second.
What do you
It
think
says,
about the stabbing of the white kid at the football field track meet by the black guy?
give me 1 second, homie. Yeah, give me 1 second. Before the glory of him who sent me, and that I may raise up the whole world, which I fashioned with my hands, raising up even you who have cast me down. There must be a return, says away. There must be a resurrection. Okay, return, resurrection. Okay, return to what? Okay, as I said, the primordial essence, primal simplicity, right? And yeah, just give me one more second here. Yeah, just give me 1 more second here. It says there must be a resurrection, right? So there's the sort of return, right, of the primordial essence. It says, for how can incorruptible love die with the body? Okay, so desire, right? Those who are bound by desire see only the outward container, right? Of the source of life be sealed in a tomb. So how could the source of life, through its death, bring about eternal life? Right? So that all of that is explained, and obviously by entering into the lowest part of existence, right? And accepting the experience with the lowest part of existence. But anyways, Star Fox, what were you saying, homie? Something about somebody being stabbed or some shit.
That's good right there. No, I was just asking. Actually, I don't have long-term memory unless I'm in drilling, like
Wait,
New
you
York
said unless you're in jail?
and adrenaline.
Oh, adrenaline. Oh, I thought you said you don't have long-term memory unless you're in jail. I was like, what?
I thought he
No.
said he was retarded.
All right, who's retarded like these days? Who really is retarded? Like, what are your views on pro-Trump? Anybody out there? Start talking.
I call him Tramp because he had sex with Roy Cohen. But
That means you're
that's neither here nor
that means you're
there.
pro Antifa,
Oh, yeah.
LGBTQ.
Yeah, it's like with Roy
all that
Cohen.
shit. I mean, if you're gonna use that faggot term,
Look, when he put it in his booty hole, Roy Cohen went,
Yo,
"Nick."
we can't
All right,
say F
do you
or
fuck
N, bro.
guys,
I'm
like-
gonna kick you for saying F or N. You can't be
Oh,
saying that
really?
on the show.
Yeah, bro.
You're
You can't be saying
you're
that.
gonna call other people that word, like Trump.
I didn't call anybody that. You keep saying it over and over when we already said it's TOS shit. So you can't say that on the show. Capiche?
Starbucks, my panel's a little different, but not here.
No, you're good. I got this, bro. All right, so you're pointing out gay stuff, right? Like we're supposed
Right.
to be, like, mad about a man fucking another man. Can I say that on panel? Or is that against
Yeah.
us?
Yeah, you just can't say F or N. I said it like 12 times. It's not that hard to comprehend. But yeah.
Oh, I like how you try to belittle people with your words in a way. Like, I said it many times. I told you I have.
Right. That's really my goal here is to try to belittle people. That's really what I'm here for.
Kind of sounds like it though, because I mean, I would imagine you're
Cool.
like who you don't support Trump, so you probably support Biden, and you probably support like all that left stuff. But to point out-
Actually,
point
no. Actually, that's totally false.
what do you support then? Tell me about yourself. I'll listen for a minute until you stop talking.
I mean, this show's not really about me at all.
Andrew.
Just tell me a little bit about what you believe in. I can't come at you if I don't know what you represent,
Why you got to come at me at all?
because I want to test you tonight.
You want to test me?
Yeah, I mean, inbox
This a te-
666.
This is a test of your emergency broadcast system.
Don't beat around the bush. Just answer the questions. Are you a Satanist?
Why are you giving the third degree out here?
Because maybe sometimes the burn, like on my right hand, means
No,
something.
look, you said some choice words. You tried to say some choice. I mean, shit's just gonna be edited out.
We're just gonna spin the words around
problem.
until we get to the point.
It's not a problem. I mean, you knew
You're
the
not
TOS. I
explaining
mean,
yourself.
I'm not trying
You're
to
not
belittle
explaining
people,
yourself.
but
I've met Satan.
you did say some words that you already knew were naughty words.
Want me to say them again?
He thinks you're a
Starbucks,
Satanist,
Yeah.
by the way.
Chill when
Yeah,
you've
go-
been hanging
yeah.
around
We're good,
Satanists,
bro. We're good.
please.
I'm good.
Stop. We gotta chill.
Yeah.
We gotta chill, dude.
Why do I have to?
I'm like-
Like, no, it's okay. I just want
Well,
to
I
push
mean,
the
it's
envelope
not
a
like
little
this isn't the IP2 in the streets real life. You got to bring this. We got to like. There's a lot of philosophy these IP2 people need.
look, let me tell you- look,
and
let me
you're
tell
the
you-
only
look, let
one
me
that's
tell you
gonna
something.
bring it there.
Let me tell you something. This is real life.
Finally, tell me something.
This is real life. What's not real about this?
You're not explaining anything to me. Where you stand, what you represent. Inbox 666.
I do that 2 days a week. Where do you stand? What do you represent?
I represent freedom for everyone. You just don't know it yet.
Where?
Where? What? Oh, maybe I should be like you and just stop asking like specific questions. Seems like we're stuck in this bondage of.
I mean, what are you about?
You know what I'm about. You see my channel.
No, I don't.
Oh, you haven't watched my channel? You haven't asked me.
Well, looks like you haven't really watched my channel either.
This
homie.
is
So let's
my
just keep it
interview.
100. Let's just keep it 100 here.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you're a hypocrite though because you don't watch my channel.
no, I'm not. I never came up here demanding anything of you. You came up here trying to give me some type of test. I don't know for what. So this is all you right now. This is you. This
Oh,
has nothing to do with me.
it does actually have a lot.
Star Fox, it's have to
No,
do with you
it has
getting. You're trying to
0%.
get. Hold on. I think I might see what's going on. So you were trying to meet these Satanists out in the streets the other night. Like they're telling you
This
to.
has nothing to do with that.
You're trying to. All right. Well,
This guy
CML's
told
not
me
a
that
Satan as far as
he
I
is.
know.
This guy told me that he's basically a devil worshiper. I
Who?
don't.
Here? You're so
See,
like
this
I
is a
don't know.
problem. See, this is a problem. See, we're trying to talk about the
How's the
light, and they
problem?
bringing it to the dark.
This is a big problem. This is a big problem there. Let me
Yeah,
see. I'm gonna find just listen in the back scope. You know, if we go in there, sitting in this
Here we
here.
go with this Antifa shit.
exactly.
Blacks, Satanists, LGBT.
You're like the Satan hunting snafu or some shit.
Not nothing like
Crocodile hunter.
private.
Satanist crocodile hunter. You know, say.
Hey, you want me to tell you some truth about why I am in the way I am? I'll tell you some truth. And this
Yeah,
goes
go
to the
ahead.
black community, the LGBTQ community, the
Yeah.
Satanist community. Everyone gets an equal opportunity to listen to the truth. You ready for it? Are you ready for why I turned on Antifa? Do you want to hear it from my mouth tonight? Because I have no filter.
But you never had a filter. And then what you're saying right now, we already understood because what you're
Whatever.
saying,
You
what
know what?
mean.
You know how many people I've watched? A lot of people, but you know what's sick is people going.
Okay, congratulations. You want a gold medal? What you mean? Say it again.
No,
Say
no,
it.
no, no, no. I'll tell you this. I joined Antifa to rebel, and I joined Antifa to be a part of something. I never got shit out of that. I never got shit out of protesting for blacks, meeting chiefs of the police. I fought for BLM and Antifa.
Okay, so what does that have to do with anything in existence? With your form of reality? What does that have to do with the collective and the betterment of the environment? You're just conforming your environment towards just narcissism. You're a narcissist. Say what it is.
I am not a narcissist.
Yes, you are.
One of
Everything
my
you said was narcissistic. Say it how it is, man.
Right.
Ma'am, ma'am. You're a memanem now, not a ma'am or a man. You're a memanem. Okay, a different species. Say it how it is. What's up?
I got it. Hey.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry, you're on the burner.
It's okay, Vicky. It was like
I mean, you're cool, man. It's just
I want to answer that right there. Everything she said.
Mhm.
All right, so I imagine you're probably black, right?
What?
How you know where me come from? You said everything that
I
you
would imagine
say.
you're a minority because white people don't talk like that.
What is a minority? But I understood everything. Okay, let me let you speak. Yes, sir.
All right, so what do you think about the stabbing of the star football player with the 4.0, having a black guy come into his neighborhood and chill there, and then fucking sit under his tent while it's raining? The truth is coming out about what happened. He was defending himself. He took a knife to school. I carry a lot of shit on me because I've learned to do it, so I relate to him. That's what a minority is to me. It's somebody who feels like they're not accepted by most of the people out there who just, I come from his background probably of knowing why he carries a knife. I relate to him, but I also relate to getting away from stuff that you don't want to be around anymore and what it brings.
Exactly. And I feel exactly what you're saying because you try to get away from toxicity, but the only people that you've known that you're growing from, you're trying to get when you see a different light, different from your perspective, it's like, why am I allowed to not be greater than who I deem myself to be, who I am? Why am I degraded just because I was born in a lineage that I don't conform to anymore? Why am I being downgraded for that? And why are the people that I choose to love being downgraded also with my realm that I don't want them to conform to because I see that there is a greater light in life that I conform to as a definition of love. I agree with you, and I could conceal you, or you know what I'm saying. We make up our own word statement, you know, and I love you because it's like everybody has a definition of life, and if life wasn't conformed to the definition of love or the definition of acceptance, you wouldn't be accepted in this realm of earth and Gaia, you know, the true divine innovation of love. And thank you so much, Machine. I always get revenations because, you know, this has been tap time. I love you so much. Yeah, I feel you say,
Yeah,
and I love
blessing.
you so much. And if you don't want me to call you that name, I won't. But, you know, I just, the spirit, when two different people come to you, one spirit comes to you a certain way, and then another spirit comes to you the same type of way, but then through the same ordainance that it was ordained through, your existence is very deep, you know, in the spiritual realm. You see, it's a spirit. It's a spirit. There are walking dead around this realm, and this is my with death. But you know, I'm Satan, and then the poet is like, why are we conformed to us as Mother Nature beings? First of all, because Machine said earlier that you have Mother Nature. This the human, then the Mother Nature, and then the heavenly, and then the divinity, you know, and then the orb. So it's like, why are us as human beings degraded so low? That's why you say you carry a weapon, because I can't even trust my own. I was sold out by my own family. My inheritance was stolen from me from being a chosen star seed.
Are
So
you
it's
the
like,
victim of that, or do you get stronger? That's really important.
what you say?
Are you the victim of that, or are
Yes,
you
I
stronger?
am. No, I am a victim. I'm a victim of death, and that's why I married her.
You know, traumatic things bring stuff out in people. You know that.
Right. That's true.
People who
But
look
how,
at
but
me,
how do we heal from that though? How do we heal from that?
we have to agree to disagree. I don't agree with whites
I don't know how
being.
much time
I
we
don't
have,
agree with whites being picked on because they're whites.
but I brought it up before today about when we were sperm, we died. And Star Fox, the day that I saw that video, you were on my panel and you said the Earth was an egg, and I was like, oh, so what happens when we die and we go into that egg? Like, what is that? What you were talking about?
Yet, that's known Russian, but the problem with this world is we all are like every generation is
Right.
every
And he brought
generation.
up a good point with that, you know, respect Mother Nature. But what were you saying, my love?
I'm saying every generation is getting weak. People are
Yeah.
crying about stuff that they're asking for every time, like like being paid because you're black is gonna enable Nazism more. You got to look at like algorithm in a computer.
Entitlement.
Yeah,
Entitlement.
entitlement. It goes
Right.
both
What
ways.
said what did say Adolf Hitler when he said 344,000? But that first of all, you got to give it to the like not going to say the king, but you have to give it to a motherfucker who is willing to fight for what they believe in so wholeheartedly, where they take out a whole generation, then they take out their own life, so their own contemplation of reality can be conformed into no other realm of existence, unless within their own. You know what I'm saying? That's some cold hearted shit, yo. It's cold hearted shit.
I'll tell you this: perspective is everything. That's what's gonna take to be unity. I can drop some words that offend people, and people pop up to look for that offense. It's not gonna help everything. It's not gonna help anything at all, actually. Like,
It's not gonna help anything until the affected of its own, you know. I'm gonna have to get off of here, machine, and thank you so much. If you touch, bro, I swear to God, if you touch my anointed, touch not my anointed, and do my prophecies no harm. My prophecies, my prophecies, meant to say, nobody believe in the Bible. See, the Bible is not an actual conceptualization of existence within an old realm of cultization. It's an actual realm of alchemizing your own reality through love. When you say that I will alchemize something that you wholeheartedly, deeply believe in because you believe in it, I will
what does
create and
Aquaman mean?
alchemize,
First of all, I don't act smart.
alch-
I ask
alchemize,
questions.
alchemize,
Make me stronger.
alch- alch- alchemize is accepting your own reality within its own existence and respecting that as a powerful being.
Okay.
So if I
we're gonna
say,
use the
if
word-
I,
trying to
so
say
if,
transmute.
if we're going to use big words, let's just go
Are you
to.
trying to say
I'm not
transmute?
reading the dictionary. What does
Hello?
exacerbate mean?
what she,
3 seconds.
what she
Does
say?
anyone know
I
what the
never said
fucking
it.
word is? It's the
What
word
does
I never said it. I
alchemist.
never said
mean? 3
exasperate.
seconds.
I never
She's
said
trying to do
exasperate.
alchemical
That,
transmutation of her
bullshitting me.
reality. Listen, all right, just chill the fuck out.
thank you.
Support
Optimization
isn't
of your
going to
own
help you at this
reality.
point. You can't gang up on somebody like me.
Yo, that's not a word.
Exacerbate
optimization?
means to worsen
Yeah,
shit.
that's not a word.
How is that not a word when I made it
You're
up?
trying to
Who you?
alchemically transmute your reality. There's
Who are
no
you to tell me
alchemization.
that?
Thank you,
That's
brother.
fucking not a word.
But you used it though. But it's not a word though. But you used it.
It's
You know
not
what?
a
Let me get
fucking
off of
word,
here.
bro.
Let me get off of here. You used the word that was not a word that I
Well, just trying to
alchemized,
You might not
right?
be
debate with you,
retarded,
but
but you're half
Okay.
retarded.
like everybody
Okay.
Calm
else on
down.
the Antifa side of Marxist, socialism,
No,
BLM
it's cool.
bullshit,
I've
all you guys
definitely
walk away pissed off, and you're gonna wait
What you
until it
say,
gets
Miss?
dark to try to hit
no,
people.
I've
We're
definitely
ready
made
for
up.
that shit. So
I've
come
definitely made
on,
up tons of
come
words
on
on here,
down to
so it's
big
all
Right,
good.
words.
right, machine, right.
Yeah,
Let's
Who
so
are we not to
it's
make
not
up
a big
words?
deal.
Who are you to tell me that it's not a word that I use that came out of my own mouth that's in the same realm of reality of existence within
ram of
that's
reality.
we're,
You
we're in
are
the
Listen,
the
if you
same
shit
want to
about
fucking
ram.
we're in
pretend,
the same
that's
realm
on
of
I know
you.
you
reality,
are,
right?
bro. Just
Okay.
Just
You can
let her make
pretend if
up
We're
you
the
in
want
word
the
to.
on.
same, we're in the same
Listen,
realm of reality. So excuse me if you wanna degrade my word and tell me it's not a word,
you
let
want to
me
know
know.
it's about
Pull
these
You
up
can,
guys?
yo,
Is they
you can
pull up
always
on
get
me.
pretend, but
pissed
you
off,
can't
and they
expect us
always
to know
get
what the fuck you're talking
defensive.
about
They
then.
always fucking talk shit. Yeah, that's all it is talking shit. Do something.
Whatever.
We'll
All
do
right, let me
something
get off
too.
of here. I just had to pull up. I love y'all and
yeah,
I love you.
blessings on suit. Yeah, thank you for
The
joining. I love you too.
the
Yeah,
dark
yeah,
night
thanks
of the
for being here.
soul. Don't when you're down bad by yourself, when I had nobody in this earth, when I had nobody in existence, period, you know who was by my side? Me, myself. And who was that? AKA God. God will always be there for you. And me, personally, I will always be there for you no matter what. I sacrificed my life for your existence because I love you. You
Bless.
are the children of Mother Earth. You are the children of Earth. I am God. Not saying that, in a, you know what I mean, but Mother Guy, I love her. And that's, I don't know if y'all take it the wrong way, but my love life. And I love y'all.
Yeah,
I see y'all.
yeah. We know you at the gym.
Be well.
Happy
Yeah,
to know.
blessings on suit. Thank you so much. And yeah, yeah, definitely love and blessings to all. And we got a few more a little more time here, and of course, the link is pinned. You guys will join the discussion. We'll be out here for a few more a little more time, so please come talk to us about the Tao Te Ching, about any of the reflections you have about technological civilization, about machines, AI, conspiracies, theological debates. We've covered a lot of different things here. So, you guys feel free to come up here and voice your opinions. And, we got Arbiter out here, Truth or Cop. We got Recreational
Arbiter,
Argument Network. Yeah. So we got heavy hitters up here. Blessings.
blessings.
Yeah, definitely.
You're more of a unity guy. I like that.
Yeah, thank you, homie.
That's a Neo Antifa in you speaking. That collectively, whatever the fuck that means, I would think together we're strong.
Right. Exactly.
I make a point like for my city, I know my mayor, I know all the constituents. The point of it is I get involved politically, and the point of it is to get everybody involved politically to make change. Go to those public city council meetings wherever you're from. If you're saying,
Hello, sir. Are you on opiates or alcohol?
I'm sorry, I'm waiting for who's he talking to?
Okay, opiates. Got it.
Are you talking to me?
No, I'm talking to the other guy on opiates.
What other guy? I'm sorry. Maybe I should take a break. I just don't know if this is debate or somebody trolling.
I'm just
This
wondering if while
it
you're
is a
getting
debate,
involved politically, do you do
relative
opiates?
network here. So like, you know, I could see why you would think that because there's a lot of like discussions about these things, but this is not like a debate space.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's
That's
fine, dude.
I mean, we could do. it.
Although
There's
Rant
nothing
really fucked
stopping.
up when he told me the fucking
actually the first person I want on
methylene
my
blue.
show is Truth the Cop and also you in box 666. You're interesting.
Yeah. Thank you.
These guests so far tonight, like the one who took off, that's fine. I know why she came here. The second one, I don't get your. I don't know. I'd rather debate, honestly, because I think it's good. Because even if these debates go bad and people start running away pissed off, at least we're accomplishing something. Like Neo Antifa, we are bringing people from different areas of light. We're taking that line and saying, you know what, we're going to pull that line down, and we're going to let these two parties, whether what they represent is Nazi or Antifa or Satan or God, Palestinian or Jew, all those lines, we're letting them collide together in a real fucking democracy. But I'll shut up.
Yeah, demo crazy. Demonstration of craze.
Dude, Jacques Ellul, dude, Arbiter, you gotta look at Jacques Ellul, dude. This guy is sharp.
Let's go. How you doing, sir? I'm the Arbiter.
CML talks about him all the time. His information's so deep, like I'm like freaking. It takes me a moment, but dude, Jacques
No,
Ellul wrote
it's
all
okay
about
because it's like
propaganda and shit, dude.
no, it's okay because
Oh,
our
man.
brains should be sponges for information. We should all like suck in everything around us, like a prostitute. No, I'm playing, but seriously, we should like. I was making a joke, but we should absorb everything. Why not? The internet is everything. Like fucking, I don't just watch right and left. I watch everybody, and it's a perspective that brought the Arbiter to life. We can be that together.
He don't just watch straight porn. He watches gay porn too. You know what I'm saying?
It's okay. It doesn't matter. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just trying to figure out a solution to the problem in the United States of America, which is we are all fucking divided. It's so easy to pin people against each other if an agenda is presented. There's this woman who worked for City Hall in another city close, like I won't say where, but she put a noose on her table and said that, oh my God, somebody put a noose on my table. This is real shit. So the local police came in, they interviewed everybody who was able to get to where she was at on her level. And all 9 of the employees said they weren't there. They knew nothing about it. It was backed up by cameras. And this is when the investigation got interesting. So this has nothing to do with color. It's just the truth. And we need to start seeing the truth for what it is, the division. So she is a divisioner, in my opinion. She put the noose there herself, and the FBI investigated it, and they found her DNA. She was the only one who did not submit her fucking DNA to the FBI. And when she refused, a warrant was issued for her DNA. Like, it doesn't take long for that. And she was forced to give her DNA. And guess what? When she gave her DNA, all those protests out there standing for, oh, we're the victim. It was coordinated by somebody who was full of shit. And she was in public office. We need to weed these people out. So when I said the N and the F word, I'm not saying it to be racist. I'm saying it because it draws people we got to get people's attention. And
I'm guilty of that. I've done the same thing, but I can't do
it's
it on
okay.
T-Bone's channel.
I dropped
Yeah.
it too. And I'm not going to lie about it. You know, but when they drop the cracker word or the fucking white boy word, how is that not racist? We need to reset our perspective to create an America that is fair to all, that diversity and inclusion. You know how I feel about that, Truther. Both of you Truther and Inbox 666. But it's time to start making things fair across the table. We can't, like, how many black people are going to be put, like, how many white people are going to show up if I was in an all black chat right now, per se, and I dropped the word cracker and honky as a black man, and all of a sudden some fucking guy shows up or a woman shows up and does exactly what she did. They're looking for anything they can to divide us. Diversion, inclusion, like that shit is how it started. We need to, like, Satanist, Christian, Muslim, Jew, it doesn't fucking matter to me. But until we get on a fair,
You are a fucking idiot.
Until we get on a fucking play fairing level, all right, fine, I'm an idiot, but
Rand, you think that
it's
methylene
okay,
blue
cracker.
isn't synthetic?
It's
Shut your
okay,
fucking mouth.
cracker. How does that feel, cracker? I'm an idiot. You support racism. If I'm an idiot,
You are a fucking idiot.
I'm proud to be an idiot. At least I'm not like you, criticizing somebody, opening up eyes.
Wah, 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 wah.
Same response as the black woman. Who's the idiot now? Arbiter out. And no, actually, I'm not going to leave. I'll stay here. I hope that you actually have something intelligent to say besides the whole you call me this, I called you that bullshit.
Yeah, blessings to Arbiter. I mean,
Problem solved.
also known as Star Fox. I mean, yeah, definitely Neo Antifa, Truth or Cops out here. I mean, yeah, you know, we doing some things out here. I mean, definitely click the link. You know, I'm out here for like 5 more minutes. I mean, I don't know what's going on out here, but yeah,
Now you good. I'm gonna dip out. I just
It's like
wanna
an
thank you.
episode of The Simpsons or some shit.
yeah, it's like,
It is reality, and reality is chaos.
yeah,
And
life
we
is
gotta face
reality.
the chaos.
Reality
We
is
can't be
life.
sitting here being like, "Oh my god," because I'm black, I need to get paid the rest of my life and drown Social Security like illegal, like immigrants coming into the country. And I'm saying that as a gay. Sorry, TOS, but really, that's the response.
No, you could say gay. You could say
No,
gay.
no, no. I know, but I wasn't.
You
I
just
was
can't.
tapping
Yeah.
it for a reason, because that's what it takes. You know, we're sitting here as a society accepting the bullshit they put on us. We're accepting, like, we want to look for a reason to be pissed off, dropping N words and dropping F words. We're all guilty of sins. Like, we all do it. And you know what? It's a passion behind the words that sometimes speak the truth. But when people, like, suppress the truth, when people tell people that they're different or they're exclusive, you know, America is falling apart at that point. So yeah, from a 6-year anti-fascist, sadomasochist, and sometimes was Satanist, I felt like when I was cutting girls and we were fucking and having orgasms, like jumping off what I said earlier. It was like jumping off a fucking building on a bungee cord while you're having an orgasm. I know every it's crazy, you know, fucking, but that's what we are. in Neo Antifa, we want people who are crazy. We want people that push the envelope. We want people not to cause division, but to show the hypocrisy of the system.
Basically, they want people that are retarded.
Yes, everyone who's retarded is allowed in my organization. Are you saying that retarded people aren't capable of being something? I mean, who's... Would you elaborate on that? I mean, because it feels like you're throwing a punch, but it doesn't deliver to the arbiter, motherfucker. Enough said.
Are you gonna sit here all night and whisper to us in your fucking post-opiate coma?
Yeah, you sound like every fucking liberal I can rip up right now is Antifa for 6 years. Now a Trump supporter. Let's say this. What is your objective, I guess? To make fun of me? To throw insults? He who casts the first stone. That's you right now, motherfucker. You have anything intelligible to say to me aside from insults? Because they're not going to work. Chris Farley said once in, what is that movie? Beverly Hills Ninja. They bounce off you like ping pong balls, motherfucker. Oh, and I guess I'm a little bit passive aggressive saying motherfucker, but you deserve the title all night. And I'm insulting insults at you, but I'm not taking it personal. Next insult, sir. I think your behavior is so predictable.
How long have you been sitting in the clothes you're wearing right now? Like 5 days? I bet you stink.
See what I mean? Bitch, I worked out so hard yesterday.
I know, bro. Because you got a little dick, bro, and you smell like cabbage.
I guess this is the end of the conversation because I'm going to be the bigger man and walk away. And I used to get my ass kicked by people like you.
You just said that because you wanted to believe you're bigger, but you're not. You're a tiny little man with a tiny penis. Very, very tiny.
Yeah,
No,
and
I'm
methyl
still
blue
the
is
bigger-
synthetic,
the bigger
the
man
first
walking
synthetic
away from
drug, Rant. The first synthetic drug, Rant. The first one. So let's back up a little bit on the confidence there.
Synthetic and...
Hold on a second. I was listening.
Derived from hydrocarbons, by the way. I'm sorry you didn't know the word.
Bro, it's a fucking process that involves like sulfur, bro. What are you talking about?
Truthers, I just got your perspective. Sorry, I thought I didn't know what was going on, but you're not actually debating, because if you said this shit with this suit on in City Hall, you'd be laughed off the block, bro. You got to come at me with real questions, not this name calling, degrading shit I'm used to. I want you to be bigger than that. And
how about you DM me your address and I'll send you a box full of shit. Fair enough?
Actually, I could do that right now, but it wouldn't work in your favor. You know what? Think. If I actually gave my address, since you don't ever respond and it takes a minute, you would probably be dumb enough to dox my address. And then everybody would figure out who you are.
Listen, Starfox, these streets aren't as rough as the ones you're coming from. I know that would happen where you're coming from. It's not happening here. That's not the angle here at all.
I got this, bro. It's fine.
All right.
He doesn't have anything real to say. It's just name call. Like when I play Black Ops and win every fucking it. Give me a second. All right, I got this. Truth the Cop. This guy I mean, it's name calling is bullshit. I've dealt with people like this my whole life. Words don't speak anything to me like as much as action does. So this guy, he just wants to dox me. I could send him my address right here on live stream. What are you gonna do? You gonna come kill me? You gonna follow through with that threat? I don't think you will, though.
All this said, you a box of shit, bro.
All right, I'll send you.
Yeah, he did say. He said he was going to send you a box of shit. Is what he did say. Yeah, he did not say docs.
The only thing I ask is that when you send your box of shit to my address when I dox myself, will you promise? Actually, you don't have to promise anything. You send this shit to my house. You dox yourself. You okay with that?
That's not how that works, Chief.
Are you okay with that? That's not what I asked. That's how it works. Exactly. You can go to Starbucks. You can use a burner phone to turn on your Wi-Fi.
Well, much worse nowadays. You'll get a DNA sample from the guy, and we'll be able to trace his DNA. We'll sell it to 23andMe. We'll get a full background DNA profile on this guy. We're gonna sell all
that's a
sorts
good
of shit.
one. That's a good one, bro. Don't sell your DNA to sites that go bankrupt. But anyway, no, it's good talking to you, man. Truther, Inbox 66, and Mystery Man. It was good debating with you, but like you go bound, like you're just like every other person out there. You meet real questions and all.
Well, yeah, it was just a test, bro.
What? Who do you work for?
D.
No, you don't. No, it's okay. I'm just trying to figure out who I am right now. I'm gonna keep expressing myself. So,
do you even know where you are right now?
He knows where he's at. Don't feel dude. TML streams like 3 nights a week, so you don't have to like. I encourage you to watch for a while.
It's okay. I got this. It's just, it was a test. Okay, fine. I accept that. I gotta stop talking Truther because if this guy's really testing me, I've said too much tonight, and they're looking for a pattern in my behavior and shit.
Dude,
And
I can't blame you.
I can't keep doing this as the arbiter because I got to get to New York and nothing's going to stop that. Nobody. Tune in. Starbucks pictures out. Peace.
Be well, brother. Rant, are we getting this methylene blue or are we giving TML a show back? TML, please.
The show back. No, there's no show.
Oh, it's over?
It's all an illusion. Yeah, the machine lied. It's all been an affront to your assault to your senses. It's all been a visual constructed illusion. It's nothing to see here. And of course, the show tomorrow will happen, but nobody will remember anything. So it's all visual distortion, audible distortion. But yeah, blessings to all the people that are here. All right. And we'll be back tomorrow with some more infusion of essentially Elul and Taoism. I mean, I've been doing this for like maybe 40 episodes or so. Right. So we'll keep the kick going and see how much we could stretch the ideas of Elul. We're also looking at Betrayal of the West. All right. So yeah, definitely click the link if you guys want. We're opening up more ideas of Taoism. We're going to open up with chapter 37 tomorrow from Seraphim Rose and then expand further through book 2. We're now on book 2 of each of the various translations that we're doing. I'm actually downloading all the episodes right now. I've seen over, almost 100 hours of Elul out here that we covered. I mean, so We definitely got hundreds of hours on other subjects, including scientific worldview, evolution, feminism, transhumanism, Kaczynski's manifesto. We read The Theory of the Partisan with my homie right here, Firestarter. So we actually uncovered lots of different texts and books. I looked at the writings of Friedrich Nietzsche, right? So we're on the trail of the architectonic, and we will be serializing all of the presentations that I gave, all my solo presentations here on the show. Because they are extensive so far. We're looking at like almost an introduction to philosophy, and an introduction to literally like almost modern philosophy too. We read through Hegel, and we compared the views of Hegel and Nietzsche and all of these types of ideas. So obviously Nietzsche did not believe in futurism. Hegel was the source of futurism and Marxism and all of those sorts of ideas. So, we could talk about philosophy, we could talk about ideas, we could talk about the origins of capitalism and Marxism and political theory. But one of the most foundational notions in political theory or works in political philosophy, I think, of our modern ages is Technological Society by Jacques Ellul. Conformity in our age is nothing more than conformity to the technological system. All embracing technique is a conscience of the mechanized world. The machine is antisocial. Technique integrates the machine into human society. Technique creates means. These are all phrases by Jacques Ellul in the Technological Society. A
Dude,
work
that
I've
dude,
read two or three times.
that
Yeah, blessings.
so important, that writing, the writings of that guy. I still haven't read the whole book of propaganda, but like before I even met you, I think I had that book. And dude, that dude, like I flipped to one page. It's like you flipped any paragraph, it's like holy shit, the insight is insane. And
I
it's
just made a
exactly
song
what we're
called
experiencing today.
Propaganda.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bro. It's a song that is propaganda against propaganda.
Is that possible? Is that even legal? That's illegal somehow.
Why not? Yo, you ever read 1666? Redemption Through Sin by Robert Seffer? Hello?
I definitely haven't.
No.
Email me.
Yo, it's 66 pages. It's fantastic. You should definitely read it.
I didn't even know that Robert Zephyr, he actually wrote books. But yeah, that's interesting.
It's a 66-page book. It's pretty short, but it's very packed with data. There's no fluff in it, and it breaks down how, if you really look at the origin of it, the Canaanites, who they are, and it's like how they infiltrated everything. Breaks it all down. And their plans. It's got their
Goodness
plans,
gracious,
bro.
the cover of that book is insane.
It's a good book. Like, when people are like, who do you mean when you say they? All right, well, this gives you names. This is the names of they.
Is there a significance to 1666, like in history that we know of, though?
Yeah, that's when.
Yeah, Shabbatai Zevi,
Exactly.
What is
the
that?
false Jewish Messiah.
Sabbateism and shit.
Sabbatianism. Yep.
Oh,
Like saboteur, the word saboteur comes from Shabbatai Zevi.
And there's a big thing on that, and there's how it goes into Jacob Frank, and it just goes all the way, bro. It just goes all the way. Breaks down the skull and bones. breaks down the X in them, how that's like a homage to like Osiris and shit. It gets real deep, bro. Give that shit a read, bro. It's 66 pages. You can read it in like, you know what I mean? Hour or so, hour or two. If you're really studying through it.
You got high hopes for me, dude. I'll read that in like 3 days.
The guy did a great job of compacting the whole timeline of all this shit and really breaking it down and not going too crazy deep into too much shit, but like giving you a really good front to back of it. You know what I mean? Great fucking book. So what was you saying about methylene blue, bro?
It is indeed I looked it up because you're sitting there saying it wasn't synthetic. It was classified as the first synthetic drug ever discovered.
No, I was saying it wasn't a petro drug, bro.
It is, yes. That's what synthetic means.
No, that's
it's
not
derived from
not what it
petro.
means.
Yeah,
It's not what it means.
from coal. Yeah.
No, it's not from coal.
What does it mean? What does it mean? It's
Synthetic
from
means
hydrocarbons.
it's not natural. It's synthesized, my man.
Through hydrocarbons.
Doesn't have to be.
It typically is.
So this one isn't, bro. This one's made through fucking sulfur,
It
bro.
is. It's not
Bugged
just
out.
sulfur. Oh, get the fuck out of here. No.
This one's made with a
You can
reaction
have
of
pure
sulfur.
carbon. You wouldn't call like graphite isn't synthetic. You don't call a graphite pencil because we derived it's just graphite and carbon. It's
What are you even
synthetic.
arguing
That's
right now,
natural.
bro? What are you arguing?
Oh my god, dude. Synthetic is derived from oil hydro.
Synthetic is when something is synthesized, my dude.
It's the first synthetic medication was
Yeah, you synthesize it. Doesn't mean that you're synthesizing it with petroleum. I'm saying
where
it's
it
not
started.
petroleum based,
That's
bro.
where it started, dude.
Nah, that's not a petrochemical.
Yes, it is. It
Nah.
started from the coal cars and shit, bro.
I mean, you can believe
the
whatever you
plants
want.
that decayed. Oh my god. But see, I don't know why is the classification of synthetic even important? This is why I want
It's
TML's
not.
inside about it.
It's not
No, it
important
is.
because I didn't argue that
Of
it
course
wasn't
it is.
synthetic.
TML
It is
isn't important.
synthetic.
Is the classification of synthetic at all important?
It is synthetic. And what's your point? My point was that it's not from fucking petroleum.
Maybe not now, but it was discovered through the research in petroleum deposits. Yes.
The methylene blue is a problem because it's not a petrochemical, so the petropharmaceutical industry doesn't like it.
That's bullshit. It's a fucking gateway drug so that all the people that would be against synthetic drugs will accept synthetic drugs once they realize they've been fucking fooled by the first synthetic drug ever invented.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. What is it? What is your beef with methylene blue? I don't get
What's
it.
your beef with Zoloft? Why? What's your beef? What's wrong with that?
Well, first of all, Zoloft makes it to where you can't bust nuts. So that's my beef with Zoloft. Okay.
You're just gonna pull up anything. You got any fucking evidence like this? Where's the dude?
I don't need, bro. I don't need
Dude,
evidence. I took
where are you,
Zoloft and I couldn't
I
bust
can't.
nuts. Hello?
Oh
Is
my
that enough
God.
for you?
Oh my god. Oh, you did this.
I took
this
the
was you.
Zoloft.
Oh, that's
Okay.
your excuse. Okay. It wasn't.
No, it's
the
not. It's not an
pornography.
excuse. I took the Zoloft. I couldn't
Yeah.
bust nuts on the Zoloft. So that's my beef with Zoloft. You
Okay.
asked me a question. I gave you the
Yeah.
answer.
Hey, I
You have another
appreciate the
question?
honesty. That must have taken a lot out of you. To be so honest.
It doesn't take a lot out of me. I don't take the Zoloft because I can't bust nuts on the Zoloft.
Yeah, that's what the little figures are in the Zoloft commercial. They're unejaculated sperm drops, right?
Yeah,
So-
I mean, me personally, I like to bust nuts, so Zoloft is not an option for the depression thing. You know, the weed is going to just have to do its job. All right.
Low sperm count. Hello.
No, I don't have
That's
a
what
low
weed
sperm
does,
count. I have
dude.
5
That's what
kids.
They say weed does, dude.
Well, listen, bro. If it does, then I'm beating the
I'm
odds.
I'm gonna advocate for the synthetic side now. All of a sudden, since we're just doing anything we fucking want out here.
Look, you're batting like 0 right now.
Bitch, I'm like that in a million. I'm so far
You're
beyond. I
sitting
haven't
here
even,
talking
they
about
haven't
low
even
sperm
invented the
count to a
trophy I'm
man who
about to
has
receive
5
for this
kids.
fucking argument right
Are
here.
you
They haven't even
retarded?
invented it.
Are you retarded?
Now you're gonna lock me into this bullshit position? I was just teasing you.
I'm just saying.
Oh my god. Came out. What the fuck do we do? Sorry.
So what do? You just drive around in your cop car and police the truth? Make sure none gets out?
Yeah, I'm trying my best to get some fucking truth out of you, and you can't even fucking accept the fact that you're wrong.
What truth are you trying to get out?
Well, your mom was whispering in my ear something sweet last night, and I'm trying to really represent what that meant to us that evening.
She always has been a whore.
Oh my god, what are we fucking prepping for Jim Bob or something? What the fuck is this, dude? We're gonna be debating on the main stage in no time with these fucking antics. What is this?
Tell you, bro, you don't even know. I'm like a fucking, I'm like a nuclear powered Tamagotchi, dog. You're lucky I'm not on methylene blue, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what to do anymore.
I didn't take my methylene blue this morning. Quick question. Have you taken any methylene blue?
No, I've never taken it before because it just started coming out, and I've been far on a. I mean, I'm not opposed to trying it, whatever, but I wouldn't take it too much.
All right, so imagine if you felt like shit all the time, right? And you had like health problems, right? And then you started taking methylene blue, and instead of feeling like shit, you felt great, right? The health problems got a lot better. Your mind state got better, and you felt enhanced cognition. Would you continue to take it, or would you just say it's bullshit?
You can take it for a moment, sure, but like, there's a deeper underlying issue with any synthetic drug that it's like, so all synthetic drugs were made to be, to reduce the problem, to reduce the symptom, not find the cause, right? It really is that simple. It's, to find the cause. Why is
So
the thing
look,
had all this
I
to begin
agree
with?
with you that most synthetic drugs, they just kind of mask the issue. They medicate the symptom, but not the underlying problem. But that's not how methylene blue operates. It actually fixes the
Right.
metabolic issue
Because
and the
there's
side
certain
effect of
aspects of all
correcting.
this, right?
Yeah, the side effect of correcting the broken metabolic structure that you have in your body, right, fixes the health problems without
Right.
masking the symptom. That's
Well,
why.
okay.
That's why it's only FDA. Listen, bro. That's why it's only FDA approved for treating cyanide and carbon monoxide poisoning, and they won't let you have it, even though it's extremely safe and never shown any signs of toxicity or problems.
It's a synthetic dye derived from hydrocarbons, just like the first drug that they were trying to make, which was quinine, where they discovered mauve from another chemical that they discovered at the time. But they discovered
Quinine is fucking tonic water.
Yeah, from the quinine tree, but they were synthesizing it because the Jesuits went over to South
they
America.
used quinine from the tonic tree, and they came out after quinine came out after
synthetic
methylene
drug
blue.
that they wanted to synthesize was quinine because
So
it had
why
a
haven't you
500
heard
year
about
history.
why
and they
haven't you heard
fucking
about
burnt out the
methylene
forest.
blue? Since methylene blue is the first one synthesized, why haven't you heard about it until recently? Can you tell me that?
That's a fine question.
Why have
But
they
it's still
hidden it?
part of that same process.
Why have they swapped it out for quinine when it's just as good at the malaria treatment, but it also does a lot more things
Well,
for you? That's
hold on.
way
I want to
better.
take you one step back further. I want to take you one step back. So the petropharmaceuticals, the hydrocarbons, everything that's derived from them, the plastics, all these different things, is some 80% of the fuel we use to fuel this technological system we currently are in. Across the board, 80% of the elements are hydrocarbon derived, and so are synthetic drugs.
Bro,
So of
your
course they're going to have
carbon.
reactions.
You're
So what
fucking
you're
carbon.
right,
You are
but
carbon.
you're still talking. But you're talking about
They're bombing you with chemtrails every day. Your food is poisoned, and I'm telling you that this fixes it, but you're telling me no, doesn't.
Yeah, but why does it fix it? If it fixes it, why is what I'm getting at, dude.
I
I'm
just
trying
told
to
you
your argument. You
it
can't
fixes,
even follow the trail of thought.
it fixes the mitochondria, which fixes your metabolism.
Why? Why are they broken? Why are they broken?
Because your biology has been sabotaged with the poison
By
food and the
what?
heavy metals
By
and the
what?
fucking nanotech. By who is the question?
Synthesized things.
By who?
Which synthesis begins again. It starts with hydrocarbons and what we did as men, manipulating that material, former living matter, plant material, dead, decaying material. In that carbonized state, we manipulate it in all sorts of fashions to get our plastics, to get everything that we've ever killed ourselves with. I mean, lead is a different thing, but most of the things that were most toxic to us and that we still surround ourselves with to this day, and all of a sudden the reaction solution to every one of those problems in prescription drugs is derived from hydrocarbons.
Mm-hmm.
So the mitochondria breakdown comes from the misuse of synthetic material, leading, to all sorts of decay.
Oh, there's a lot more to it than just that.
Right.
And what I'm saying is the solution just so happens to be like, all right, so if somebody fucks you up with a bunch of technology, you may need to use technology to undo their fuck up, right?
Fine, dude. Then
like there's no magical
fucking
fucking plant I could tell you that's just gonna fix the problem that they did to you. Okay.
No, you're right.
So if you want to fix it, what I'm telling you is that's how I've been fixing my own problems. I'm not telling you you have to. I'm saying if you decide you want to fix something, that's the way to do it. Now, you're just worried about hydrocarbons or some other bullshit. That doesn't matter to me, bro. Listen, bro. I've snorted unknown substances up my nose. Okay? I did that for years. I've eaten unknown substances in tablet form. I did that for years off the street. I don't give a fuck about hydrocarbons or not. Here's what I care about. Do I feel better or worse, healthy or ill? That's what matters. So we're all gonna die, Bubba. We're all gonna die. I smoke cigarettes. I don't give a fuck. I smoke weed
one right now. I am.
That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Listen. You know what I mean? We're all gonna die. It's just a matter of how are we gonna live. Do you want to live all fucked up from the bullshit they did, or do you want to fix it?
Yeah, but I don't think that it's the only solution is methylene blue. That's ridiculous.
Look, it's the only solution if you want to remove fucking hydrogel, DARPA hydrogel out of your body.
Fulvic acid. I've told you this. It's a different form of hydrocarbons.
All right, look, you use fulvic acid. I'm going to use methylene blue. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
If I'm gonna mix these motherfuckers and see what happens, what I'm gonna fucking do.
Use your fulvic acid. I'm gonna use my methylene blue. Let me know how it goes. Don't say I didn't tell you so.
Back at you, motherfucker.
Because the fulvic acid ain't gonna fight the fucking bioweapons they're gonna start releasing.
Oh, you know what does though is fucking saunas.
I got a couple of years worth of methylene blue. I can sit here and weather some storms.
Oh,
your fulvic acid ain't gonna do it, bro.
I got a couple years of
good luck.
Acid.
Good luck, bro. Because you know what?
Shit.
You know what? The wave is coming.
White skin. I get why
wave number 2 is coming.
I get what the issue is, dude. You're so full. I get it, dude.
Wave number 2 is coming, bro. Yo, you and your retarded fan of your channel are both retarded. So if you agree with your retarded fan, that doesn't give you any more credit. I hope you realize that. In this argument between me and you right now.
I don't need any credit with you.
You're bringing in like sock puppet backup. You're like, I see why that doesn't matter to me. I don't give a fuck. You could tell yourself that later when you're by yourself in your own head.
Oh
But
my
right
God.
now, what matters is, right? Wave 2 is coming, and it's going to be way more deadly than wave 1. And while that's going to happen, they're going to spark off a world war. Okay? Because they need to in place the world government leader, right? Who's probably going to be Elon Musk. So get ready, ladies and gentlemen.
I ain't gonna ever see Elon Musk leading the world.
Well,
That's
you
never
might.
gonna be my perspective.
You just might.
Nope.
That's the end goal.
No, not for
It's
no.
their end goal,
I don't
bro.
want to see the end goal for God is to see
He's
Elon
gonna
Musk
he's
lead
gonna
the
like
world.
he's gonna like come back to life
Mm.
with fucking a brain chip or some crazy shit, bro.
Oh, that I don't disagree with. He's gonna be that false prophet. That I
He's gonna
do
come
see, yeah.
back with like a brain chip, bro, and rule the fucking world, bro. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Shit's
after
gonna get
dying for
crazy in
3 days or
2020.
whatever the fucking prophecy is. Yes, I've seen
Leading
that too.
up
With
to
Elon Musk.
2030, we're gonna see some shit. But what I'm telling you, bro, is they're wave 2. They're getting ready for it. You know what I mean? Wave 1 happened when Trump was in office. Wave 2 is going to happen when he's in office too. And he's going to make mad money on it because he was in on it the whole fucking time. That's why nobody's in fucking jail. Okay? He invented Operation Warp Seed.
Yeah, and he's also got fucking Robert F. Kennedy Jr. pushing fucking methylene blue.
Listen, he never pushed it. He just took
He
it on a
doesn't have
plane.
anybody pushing fulvic acid, does he? What's up with that? You don't even know what it is.
Look, Alex Jones is pushing methylene blue now. Okay? But I've been on methylene blue way before Alex Jones was pushing it. Okay, and Robert F. Kennedy was taking it, and they caught a video of him taking it on a plane, and now Alex Jones is using that video to sell it. But that doesn't mean RFK is pushing methylene blue. RFK is a dude who knows about health, okay, because he studied into all the fucking crazy shit, and he came across methylene blue most likely trying to keep himself fucking in his top shape when a fucking plane with all these people with all these pandemics, right? Because you got to understand there's all kinds of bioweapons out here. This substance just so happens to, and this is one thing that it'll do that fulvic acid won't do, is I'm not going to say it in exact words, and that's kind of the problem. But I'm going to say, let's just say like this. If you had, you know that game, the Jacks, when you was kids, how they had like spikes on them? Let's just say methylene blue knocks those off and makes it not spiky no more. And if you know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? Then you'll understand why I'm taking it. And you'll understand why RFK's taking it. But he never promoted it, not once. Mel Gibson promoted it, but fucking not necessarily promoted it. Just
How
said
do you
it.
know? You're telling me the person 3 rows back on the fucking plane that got that shot wasn't paid to be there? There's no possibility, no potential.
Bro.
Oh, totally organic. It was just
Look.
as organic as the methylene blue that I'm pushing right now.
All I'm saying is it's been out for fucking quite a while before that shit happened. And I'm just trying to explain it to you that these people are not.
It was the first synthetic drug ever discovered in the 1800s, dude.
These people are not
it's
retarded.
Been around a while.
These people are not retarded, so they're taking it because it works. All right? People ain't going to take shit that doesn't do anything. Don't you understand? Are you not here right now? I don't take it for no reason. It does something amazing when I take it. And if you don't believe me, take it. You know what I mean?
But don't look at where it comes from. Don't look at what it comes
from.
No,
definitely look into it. Definitely look
it's
into it.
And also, hydrocarbon derivative, just like all pharmaceuticals.
And
so
also get good quality stuff. Okay, get good quality stuff though.
Sure. It's very
Make
close
sure it's
to
good
nature.
quality.
It was the first thing that man said, hey, this was the first thing that's not from nature that we made. It's very natural shit because it's the first thing that we said wasn't.
Most of the stuff you put in your body is not from nature.
Right. So I see why you're dependent on the synthetic thing to get you through.
A percentage of the air you're breathing right now is not from nature. But is everything from nature originally?
Yes.
Okay, so everything's from nature?
Yes.
So what are we talking about?
Spiritual activity.
What matters is, here's where I think you're getting fucked up. You're looking at what mankind has done with shit like plastic, and you're saying that's the same thing as methylene blue. It's not the same
shit
fucking
that
thing.
fucked up the mitochondria that you're justifying yourself and taking it for to begin with.
Look, I'm saying the mitochondria is
Can you
fucked
just
up,
like
and that's
you
why
look
it
at the
works.
fucking cause, you fucking doctor? You are a professional fucking snake oil salesman, dude.
Am I
God.
selling it? Do I
You
have any
must
for
be.
sale? What am I gonna make on it? Did I even bring it up until you brought it up? Trying to come at me again? Are you trying to sell it? Because I won't bring it up again. I already been told everybody.
I'm not trying to sell methylene blue.
Oh, all right. So then let's not talk about it, because I could give two fucks. I try to help you out. You're just a dick. That's what you don't realize. You can do all the studying you want and try to prove this and that wrong. I don't know when you're going to figure it out. You are a dickhead. You know what I mean?
Keep shilling for the man, slave.
Shilling for the man. I barely even come out here, bro. Come out here to see my friends and say hi. Hi, how you doing? How's the Tao doing? Then we got fucking retard upon idiot upon lunatic upon fucking half-wit. You know what I mean? What's up, you fuckers? What's next?
Yeah, peace to the homies.
What's up, TML, bro? I was fucking with listening to the Tao though before, you know what I mean? I decided, oh look, the Tao, let me hop on, and then as soon as that happened, bro, this is the end. So that's why I don't come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Try to say what's up, you know what I mean? But just can't do that.
It's all good. We got more of it coming through tomorrow. I mean, so many opportunities to discuss. It's not always as festive out here, so sometimes there's nothing going on. I've actually explained it down many times, and nobody even hop on the panel. So I mean,
that's the problem. It's when I come on, bro. It gets festive, bro.
Yeah, and maybe this is the energies of it.
I was just being
subtle
quiet,
energies,
and that's it, bro. Got all derailed, and you know what I mean. That's kind of why I got involved with speaking, is because I was kind of pissed off, bro, that the Tao ended. Yeah, right. And it didn't end for any good reason.
Especially the Father Seraphim Rose perspective. Wow. Man.
It came out with the most stupidity of stupidness. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like you motherfuckers do a disservice to TML when y'all come on the show and just like talk out of your assholes. You know what I mean? Then you force me to talk out of my asshole. You know what I mean? Until you motherfuckers stop. You know what I mean? We're just over here trying to hear the Tao, trying to read the Tao, trying to understand the mystery of the connections of the fucking Tao. You know what I
mean? Maybe instead of trying to sell meth head blue, you should try to sell solenoids.
Here we go. Demon number 3. Welcome.
They had hominem attacks, man.
You don't know this demon?
I don't know anything.
Yeah, shout out to the dog.
Yo, shout out to Inner Darkness, bro. The fucking resident demon on set. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we doing it big out here. 26 people watching. Where'd all these people come from? Very odd. Ain't shit going on here now. Earlier, nobody was here. Shit, man. I've been talking about Elul, Taoism, fucking transhumanism for weeks and weeks and weeks. We never got up to 27 fucking viewers. Wow. Popularity.
They
Win
like
the
pissing
popularity
at you.
contest. Yo, a few of you guys are gonna have to go live to prevent this. I could think of a few, maybe CBO, maybe you get Paul Save, you get Flow State, you get all of them together to go live to prevent this.
Do they even do that anymore, bro?
And I know they go live every time I go live. Especially one group of these dudes goes live every single time I go live, straight up.
They be live streaming.
Yeah, but thank you guys for being here. That's about all we really had today. I mean, we'll be back tomorrow. You know, it's way past midnight here. You know, so I'm gonna have to shut this one down. But I'm gonna be back tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern time. You know, and I already explained what we're getting into. So I'm gonna go around the panel and let everybody shut up the show in the mode that they prefer. Shut it down, right? Yeah, peace out, Star Fox. Blessings to El Perro. Yeah, exactly. Right? I mean, thank you guys. Right? Yeah, Big Bear time slots. Right? Definitely.
Good to see you, Inner Darkness. Good to see you, T-Mail. I'm gonna jump out of here before I get back into a fucking rant. This is not the end of this, but I do appreciate the space for discussion with both of y'all, all y'all. And, freaking Father Seraphim Rose and his perspective versus compared to Alistair Cowley's perspective with Talia Chang. That's fascinating. But I really like
Yeah,
the way
this is
that.
this is just a culmination of several parts of this that we've been doing. But yeah, I mean, we're almost halfway through. The book is divided into two parts. You know, first 37 chapters, and then yeah, I mean, we're only about halfway through with it. But yeah, definitely fascinating read. Um, you know, a rare philosophy. You know, ethical idea. Obviously, the idea of knowing your own ignorance. I mean, that comes from the beginning of philosophy. So I think that Taoism is a unique philosophical text. I mean, and especially the part where I did the Confucianism series. I mean, right? So really, it should be compared to Confucianism, because when we get to Buddhist philosophy and the spread of Buddhism from India to China, that's going to be the main push there. I mean, right? It's this combination with the cultural spectrum of, you know, Confucianism and the philosophical spectrum. So how I explain it is like, you know, if you look at Eastern philosophy, you know, you got, you know, in the Far East, right, you got Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism. You know, Confucianism is like the culture, you know, Taoism is like the philosophy, Buddhism is like the religion. I mean, but you could really explore the various forms through you know, those three, you know, expressions. But yeah, you know, all three of those has scholarly input for like 1,500 years. I mean, they're traditions that lasted for a very long time and culminated in things like samurai's tradition. You know, you got the samurai works and texts. We're going to look at some of the writings of the samurais, and obviously Buddhists. You know, we got Nagarjuna, we got Vasubandhu, we got Nagasena, we got the Buddha himself, and various and of course we got the Bodhidharma, and of course we got the various Zen masters, Dogen. You know what I mean? All intense philosophers in their own right. I mean, so yes, it's crazy shit going on, popping off. I mean, it's a world of philosophical traditions that have nothing to do with Plato and Aristotle.
Yeah, for sure, dude. All right,
Check that book out, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
real tough.
1666. Yeah.
Yeah, it's called 1666 Redemption Through Sin. Like Global Conspiracy or some shit by Robert Sefer. Fucking dope.
Yeah, I found it on some website. I've never seen the website before. If it was like Amazon, I'd buy it, but it's only on different websites. But yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I need to get back
I'm
into
giving
reading.
Truther like Yeah, I'm giving Truther like this conspiracy 1-on-1 with the Shabbatai Zevi and shit like that. You know, so we're gonna get Truther into to be a Truther cop extraordinaire when he gets the conspiracy knowledge. I mean,
Well, this
real
is the
talk.
real, like,
Yeah,
this is the real deal conspiracy knowledge that, like, I haven't been able to find a book that put it in such a digestible, concise way in order to really give you a good, like, fucking bird's eye view of how this shit went down through the timeline starting at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's a step further back than I've seen. 1913 was a significant year than the 1800s when they were starting all the synthetics, and the 1860s when they did the Civil War, all that. But like, and then 17 was it? Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492. So that time frame, but like in between, yeah, there's not much at all. But I'm gonna jump out of here, y'all. Great talking to y'all. I'm gonna hear you. I'll close it down. Be well. Take care.
Yeah, blessings, homie. Yeah, homie, what you got to say to these people?
Oh, I ain't got shit, bro. I already said it.
Yeah,
You already
blessings,
know,
brother.
dog.
Yeah, the Jewish dude looking out for he's looking for you. Benjamin.
Fucking
So,
Benjamin, bro. Why is he looking for me?
He said we got proven wrong on the Talmud. I don't think so though. I mean, but yeah, some type of video that they released. Useful Charts released a video on the Talmud, and I feel like it's a propaganda video. You know, I gotta send you this shit. See what you think. But yeah, I seen lots of mistakes. It didn't even mention. It didn't mention the Toledo Yeshu. It didn't mention a lot of shit. You know.
I mean, all this occultism and shit, like most of this shit is based on the OG Babylonian Talmud. So, like, you know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? How's he gonna say that we were proven wrong on the Talmud?
Yo, he literally cites the guy from Useful Charts cites the guy from Esoterica. I'm like, how is that right? Yeah, that guy's straight up satanic, right? So it's kind of weird. Neurojack knows, man. This guy from Useful Charts was citing the fucking Esoterica guy. Shit's getting weird out here. Here, hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up. Useful Charts Talmud. Yeah, does the Talmud actually say that? Yeah, this is the guy right here.
So a Useful Charts guy got disproven on the Talmud?
He tries to say that shit's not in the Talmud, like none of that shit's in the Talmud that we were saying. But look at this. Justin Sledge, Esoterica. Pretty weird stuff, man. Justin Sledge, how is he an authority for the Talmud? That's pretty weird.
Yeah, he's not. I don't even think he claims to be Jewish.
Right.
But he wears the thing. It's weird, dude. Like, he wears a yarmulke but doesn't claim to be Jewish. And he just straight up sits there and does all kinds of shows on, like, the occult shit. Like, I've watched a bunch of esoterica shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is
mostly
wild
occult
because
shit.
why is he shot? See, why would this? Look, why would this dude be an authority on the Talmud? That's what I'm trying to.
Rather than alone. I therefore asked
There's no
two
fucking
peers
authority on
to
Talmud,
review
bro.
the script for this video. So I want to give a special thanks to Zevi Slavin from the YouTube channel Seekers of Unity and Dr. Justin Sledge from.
So look at that. Useful Charts is working with Justin Sledge from Esoterica to explain the Talmud, folks. What the? So the top level YouTube channels are totally fake and gay. I mean, obviously, Wilson's funded by Zionists. I mean, shit's going down out here. Yo, what's going on, Hank?
Look at this Ninja Turtle, bro.
So, in my opinion, the YouTube channels are fake and gay all the way through. Let's just get it straight. YouTube
Yeah,
channels,
true.
And I won't make any exceptions for mine either.
Yo, Hank, can I ask you a question, bro?
You just did. Ask me another one, please.
How much do clothes cost in the Matrix?
Oh, they are even more expensive because they're DLC. So I just hacked mine.
But yeah, we got a challenge with Benjamin on the Talmud. We're gonna challenge him on the. You know, the video I actually played on my show with the Talmud, where it was saying that all that stuff. You know, I could show you guys right now. That video is not on YouTube anymore. So they took down the video that's critical of the fucking Talmud, and they took down the entire channel. The Let's Praise God channel. It's totally gone.
Let's look for it on what other sites are good? I think Odyssey. Let's look for an Odyssey then.
Yeah, Let's Praise God.
So it got taken down, the one that shit it on the Talmud?
Oh yeah. And that's why I'm scared, because I literally played that same video on my show. So how long until my motherfucking show gets taken down with the video on that shit? Hell no.
I don't know who removed, if YouTube removed it or he removed it himself, because cowardice. I mean, we have people remove their own YouTube channels on panel.
Yeah, there's people do all types of wild shit.
The crazy thing is, there's more than one Talmud. So
yeah, he said so in the video.
And they follow multiple Talmuds too. So you got different like interpretations. And there's also a Jewish Talmud, but like that. This is where the Sabbateans, right? This is where Shabbatai Zevi gets like all these ideas. It's he sits there and misinterprets the Jewish Talmud. You know what I mean? And creates this whole movement. But it had to be believable enough, because he had millions of Jews believe in everything he said, and they're not like retarded. They studied the shit out of it, right? I'm just saying. Shit's wild in the hood. You know? You start adding this shit up, it all leads to what we're seeing today. Like, this stuff is absolutely what infiltrated the entire United States. If you look at what's going on with the elites in the United States, it's the same thing as fucking Sabbateanism, Frankism. I mean, it's the same shit, right? And all the stuff that they claimed that they were going to do in order to bring in their Messiah, which is the Antichrist. This is all openly like spoken. They said they were going to like destroy the family and do mass immigration and all this shit. They said they were going to do all this shit, and they did it in this country. And like everything they said they were going to do, they did it. It's not like it's prophetic. It's that they're following a plan that was set in place. And they're all following Lucifer. So I mean, probably got the plan from Lucifer. I mean, I believe Lucifer exists. And so, that being said, you know, all you got to do is figure out what they're doing, and you'll see what's going on. This is who they are. You know what I mean? This is they. It's not just like a Jewish thing. They're also Jesuits. They're also Freemasons. They're also, you know what I mean? What was it? The fucking
right.
what was the mystical Islam order? The fucking
The Bektashi. Sufi.
Sufis, right? So, and like, yo, what was it? Jacob Frank. What was it? Was it Jacob Frank or was it fucking Shabbatai Zevi that they made him convert to Islam? Which one was that? It was Frank, right? Or was it Zevi?
Yeah, it was Shabbatai Zevi.
Shabbatai Zevi, right? They made him convert to Islam, and so he converts to Islam, but then he fucking basically finds a whole bunch of connections between the Kabbalah and Sufism. All the shit that they was doing, their mystical shit. So like it was basically all the same shit. And so he was like, oh look, same. And then like he just continued like fucking doing all kinds of crazy shit under the guise of Islam. And he's just pretending that he was Islamic, but he was doing mystical Sufi shit. So that's kind of the problem, you know what I mean? They're just infiltrating everything, bro. The book explains it a lot better than I can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right now I am actually assuming the Talmud's case law, and I say I need case law for freaking computers themselves, because no one can explain why they do what one thing or another thing. You have like 5 different things you can do to implement the same thing. So I think I'll buy it, and I need one for stuff I'm working with. Like
the problem is, there's like a bunch of Talmuds, and the one that most of them read is like a gigantic fucking, like it's a whole ass library of books. Like, you put it this way, if you own a Talmud, you better also own a bookshelf.
I'll do it digitally. Bookshelves
Oh,
are like easy to
digitally?
store. Yeah, like a PDF file.
I don't think it fits in one PDF file.
Yeah, I can put in more than one. I mean, I have just on this computer have over 4 terabytes of storage.
It's massive, bro.
Hey, I already downloaded one.
It's massive. It's a massive file. I downloaded one too, bro. It's a massive file. But I'm just saying, that's kind of the thing. It's like they sandwiched all their shit in this giant library of shit, and they're like, we believe in that. You know what I mean?
I don't even have my U.S. case law stuff. They don't want to give it to the citizens, and it pisses me off.
So they make it in a giant book of just nonsense, and they make up their own languages with it.
I mean, we can't even get a count of how many laws we're currently under right now. That's ridiculous. Because case law. Heck, we can't get the legislative count either. It pisses me off. But yeah, it's only 3,000.
Well, these people have their hands in single-handedly corrupting all of the world's religions. Like, you can't corrupt the actual, like, original religion, because that was what it was. But what all the world's religions are now is not what they originally were. They infiltrated and corrupted every one of them at their core in order to bring forth their one world order. It's the only way to have it. They don't plan on wiping anyone out completely. They had to have control over everything. So that means, Catholics, Christians, Protestants, like all of these different religions fucking are all in control at this point. All the countries that are the big players in the game right now are all in control. You know what I'm saying? Everything we're watching right now is just a straight up movie script. And the way it plays out is not good.
Well, I'm a fake and gay YouTuber. Where's my script? I didn't get a copy.
You're playing your part, Hank.
Right? If it's not a script, it's not a skit. It's that. And my Talmud copy I got was only 7.4 megabytes. I have plenty of space for that.
Bro, you're playing your part. You are playing.
I want a better part. I want a better part to stop the shell.
You better get in line, Hank. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's your damn Matrix glasses.
Thanks, Sarpo, for suggesting them.
Hank, you ever read 1666?
Negative.
You should read it.
All right, I'll go get it.
Where you can get it?
The internet.
Can you get it from Library of Genesis, Hank?
Maybe.
Or are you gonna go to Barnes and Nobles?
No.
You don't buy actual books, Hank? You just download them?
I have some actual books, and now I want to get rid of them because it takes way more space up than. I mean, I have a SAN library storing multiple, probably an exabyte for less than that space in that bookshelf. So
An exabyte?
yeah, I could probably store an exabyte on a SAN and it take up less space in my bookshelf.
How much is an exabyte?
How much an exabyte? Like a few $1,000s, but it still take up less space in the bookshelf.
Yeah, blessings, Hank. Thank you so much for joining. But I definitely did announce the end of this show like 3 or 4 times. But but yeah, blessings, guys. I greatly appreciate you guys.
You ready now,
And-
Dog?
Yeah, blessings, homie. But yeah, that's about it for today. Yeah, Hank, would you like to say any closing words or really anything you'd like? And of course, take your time. I mean, there's no, real rush here.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get Benjamin on tomorrow, so we can talk to him directly.
Okay.
But right now, I do believe the Talmud's case law, and I do want copies of other case laws.
Yeah, I agree with.
Subjected me. Yes.
Yeah, I agree with some of the stuff that the video says, but then I think that it didn't do justice to some of the explanations. I mean, like it kind of explained away Jesus boiling an excrement by saying, well, there's 2 other guys boiling an excrement too, so it's fine. But it's like, I don't think that really, is very conclusive. But then saying that, okay, it's case law and all that kind of stuff, well, that sort of saves a lot, because I know we have the same thing in the Islamic tradition where people say, well, aren't these hadiths or so-called Sharia law, isn't that doctrinal? And it's like, it's not. It's just case law, right?
Yeah, but to them, it actually is doctrinal. Like, they follow the Talmud. There's Talmudic Jews. The ones that don't follow the Talmud are very few and in between. You know what I mean? If like you're a Jew and you only follow the Torah, like the Tanakh, you're probably a great person. But you're not like mainline Jews.
Yeah, it's not a mainline Jewish thing. That's true. So.
And the reason why is because the mainline Jews have been subverted, and that's all in the book. It's all in the book. See, that's the problem.
Religion's just subversion in action. I'm sorry. Any kind of religion, even including mine's just subversion. I may be subverting
How
myself,
about this?
subverting someone else.
Why don't we just send Benjamin a copy of the book and tell him that's our response?
All right, we could do that. Let me go.
Just someone wrap up. Just send him. You know what? Don't even waste money on shipping. Just send him a PDF file, and it'll be free.
Yeah,
send it to him.
Yeah, but you know what I find weird, right? Is that there's tons of channels, right? There's tons of channels I could look up right now that are saying Christianity is an evil religion, that Catholic monks did this, that, and the third thing. They raped people, they murdered people, they're murdering, stealing, thieving bastards and the worst scum of the earth. That Muslims are the scum of the earth, that Arabs thieved people, that they fucking murdered a bunch of people, that they raped everyone. They're murdering, thieving people, that the religion itself of Islam and Christianity are evil. The video I showed that says that about the Talmud, they won't let it stay on the fucking internet. But you could find thousands of channels that say the same thing about Catholics and Muslims and Christians, and every other fucking religion on earth you can criticize except for the Talmud. You can't criticize the Talmud. They'll take it off the internet.
You
Isn't
can't
that
criticize
fucking
them on YouTube specifically.
Yeah, why don't people just wake up to that fact? Maybe that's a more interesting discussion that we can have with Benjamin and ask him, why is that the reality? You know, what's the deal with that? Right? Because that seems a lot more strange than anything that's in the Talmud right now. You know what I mean? Let's
See,
face
and
it.
that all goes back to 1913 with Jacob Schiff set up the Anti-Semitic Defamation League. You know what I'm saying?
No, actually, there's other videos talking about the Talmud criticizing on YouTube. It's just not that specific one. I mean,
No, but
I
I'm
see
talking
one that
about
says
like
the Talmud's worse than I thought. The
no, I'm
Talmud
talking about
teaches an evil
volumes.
jurisdiction.
No, Hank. No, Hank. I'm not talking about just search it up and there's like a few videos. I'm talking about there isn't volumes compared to Islam or Christianity that say it's evil on the same level. And the one video I did happen to cover got taken down. The whole entire channel got taken down. Right? So this isn't just like search it up and look it up and oh, there's plenty of examples. Of course. I mean, right? I'm not saying there's not. I'm just saying that, you know, the one time I did cover it, the fucking video got taken. There's not comparable criticism of Islam and Christianity. I mean, of Judaism, the way there is about Islam and Christianity, 100%. Right?
I mean, just not comparable criticism of literal Satanism compared to the criticism of Christianity and Islam, though.
That's another good point.
Isn't it Voltaire that basically said, just see who your ruler is by who you can't criticize? So basically,
right. And that guy never criticized Jews and he hated Muslims, by the way. I mean, just saying. I mean, that's Voltaire for you. I mean, so this is what the guy who said that thought. Right? So imagine how fucked up we are in our life. I mean, and by the way, he thought Christianity was evil. He thought Islam is debased. Right? I mean, right? And, you know, see, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. It's kind of strange. I mean, I'd like to hear Voltaire's critiques of the Jews. I mean, and maybe he did have comparable critiques and all those type of stuff, but it just seemed like.
I mean, I've been debating and poking at people who criticize Christianity all day, the atheist Cole Austin, but they claim they hate all religion, but can't get them to aim at something other than Abrahamic religion. They just don't want to touch anything except Abrahamism. So I find that strange.
but not even the original Abraham one though. It's like way off limits.
Right.
Like even if a hint of anti-Semitism, quote unquote, you're out.
See, here's the thing. The ones that are in opposition to true Abrahamic religions, right, are simply a religion that is of the devil. So they don't care about the other pagan religions. They specifically want to fuck up the ones that are in line with the true God at their core. You know what I mean? Outside of the corruption that's been laid upon all of them.
Yeah, and that's what's weird is that no Christian or Muslim will say that Judaism is a source of their religion. Some of the Christians will say it, you know what I mean, right? Some of the fucking really brainwashed Muslims might say something like, oh, yeah, the Christians and the Jews are the people of the book, and therefore Islam confirms those books, which is totally false, right? But then the fact that you know, the atheists will say that these two religions came from the Jews, but they will never criticize the Jews. They'll only criticize Muslims and Christians. It's really fucking weird.
No, they did. No, really I mean, atheists say, well, the Tanakh's in the Bible, and they hate the whole thing, so that they do criticize the Jews in that.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of lazy though.
Yeah, it's lazy. I mean, it's not comparable.
That's like dancing around it.
Well, my whole issue is that they're lazy. To be honest, my whole issue is that
I don't agree with you there.
Yeah, the Jews get saved either by being a minority or by just hiding out and just being white people. So it's just funny. I mean, that happens.
I mean, I do agree with you.
The thing is, they're not actually even really Jews, and the problem is that they just keep doing a bunch of shit and then pretending to be different people. You know what I mean? They're just whatever the fuck they need to be at the moment.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Only a small portion of them even claim to be Jews.
Could I be a Jew right now?
He could totally be a Jew.
I mean,
is there any way to prove I'm not a Jew?
No way.
There we go. Everyone's Jewish now.
Black Hebrew Israelites, apparently.
Everyone's Jewish now.
Just saying.
If only.
I mean, the criteria to be a Jew is that your mom was Jewish. That's literally it.
My mom was Baptist.
So
but I could be lying.
Like if Hank's daddy was not Jewish, and he found Hank's mom who was Jewish, and made Hank would be Jewish.
Yep.
It's a fact.
Yeah, but the thing is, we're outside of the anthropological chain. Anyone could be Jewish now. It's just
that's not true, bro.
We're in freaking Germany now.
There's a black Jewish rapper. It's true. Google it, bro. He wears fucking top hat yarmulkes, bro.
Drake.
No, not even close.
I'm just kidding.
This is a Hasidic. This is a Hasidic black Jewish rapper. He's Hasidic, wears like the all black with the top hat, bro, with the curls and shit, all that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
The hell?
Yeah. I forget his name, bro, but I seen him. He exists. Hold on.
What about Whoopi Goldberg? Why is her last name Goldberg?
Yo, his name is Nissim Black. Can you pull something up, TML, bro, of Nissim Black?
Yeah, sure.
Just to prove to Hank that he could be Jewish.
Oh, I think I've seen this before. Nissim Black. Yeah, this guy was hilarious. He's like,
it's no joke.
Yeah, I think I remember this.
I think they had him talking to Tovia Singer, bro. Like, he's really Jewish, bro.
This guy's funny.
Yeah, he was on the show, bro, with Tovia Singer.
It's like, wait, didn't they say something like the real Jews were saying, like, yeah, we can have him pay some money and he can be a Jew too, or some shit? I forget where I heard that.
I thought paying money is just a Scientology thing. You pay.
No, Hank, it's all of them, one way or another.
Well, all the money be paid, but I don't know if you just automatically when you pay enough money and then
it's called the collection plate.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Is Ben Shapiro gonna rap in this?
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh, they had a Ben Shapiro rap, bro.
Oh, it's to response to Shapiro, maybe.
Ben Shapiro was in a rap, bro.
Let's see, Ben Shapiro raps.
Ben Shapiro was in a rap with who the fuck?
That's cringe.
Ben Shapiro was rapping in a song
freaking
with
Tom McDonald.
Tom McDonald, bro. Yeah.
Oh
featuring
my God.
Ben Shapiro.
Oh.
It was mad cringe.
Yeah,
And
they made one.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
too.
you can't even play it. They'll just strike anyway.
Yeah, they made one with Roseanne too. That one was pretty cringe. But yeah. Yeah, Roseanne is a Talmudic Jew. So shout out Roseanne. Yeah, that's it, folks. That's all we have.
That's it.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, Hank. Blessings. 8 p.m.
Easy.
Yeah, 8 p.m. EST.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, it's in daylight time. EST. Scoop, Trump didn't fix that yet.
Yeah. And thank you to the homie Firestarter for coming out here IRL and visiting your boy, the Machine
shit?
Rise. Yeah.
He hasn't been on here in ages.
Yeah, he's a homie. Yeah. He's definitely chilling. I mean, yeah, we put him on screen earlier. I mean, for like a second. But yeah.
You got a homie that came to see you and he's there right now?
Well, he's gone now, but yeah,
fuck?
he was here. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Did you move yet, dog?
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, yo, he came to the new location. They're like, damn,
Yeah.
bro, he out there taking the missions.
Yeah. No, definitely. We'll invite a bunch of people when we go out there. You know, blessings to all the people that are here. But yeah, you guys got any closing words for real? I know we just went around in a circle and
We done. We
but
done.
yeah.
We're done here, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, blessings, Hank. Thank you. Reddington, you got anything to say to these people?
Talmud, bad news bears, basically. That's
Word.
Man,
Talmud bad.
Yeah, that useful charts video. Go and watch that video. That video's it's a lot to be desired there, but we'll
It's
check
a
it out.
clown video.
It's so, I mean, dude,
Where is
he
it?
said he got Justin Sledge. I mean, it's
Someone got the link in the back, yo.
Fuck. Yeah, hold on.
Link it in the back chats.
Yeah, I'll get it real quick.
It's called "Does the Talmud Actually Say That?" So yeah, I'll link it in the back chat. Yeah. And yeah, definitely Benjamin wants a response to this. I got a pretty good response.
But you said he was looking for me specifically, or just
Yeah.
you?
Yes.
Yeah, he was looking for because I remember you guys got into it about the Talmud one day.
So he wants me to respond to this video.
I suppose. Is
that
that what it is?
Yes, but no, he wants you. Yeah, pretty much. I think it's respond to this video or talk to him directly. I don't know for sure, but I'm gonna try to get both.
Sounds
About
like it's
this
gonna
video.
be a shit fest, to be honest.
Well, the whole all of YouTube's fake, so that I guess it's par for the course.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, that'll be coming up. We'll figure that out. Blessings to all the people that are here. I mean, thank you for joining me. I mean, yeah.
I got the link. Thanks, Hank. Later, guys.
Yeah, peace out.
Easy.
Homie. Yeah, all right, homies. I mean, play some outro music for you guys. But yeah, thank you for joining us here on the Machine Lies, where we talk about the lies of the machine on the machine that lies. See this Tuesday show? I'm trying to keep it light. I mean, yeah, you can't kill something that you can't see, and the first step to blinding somebody is getting them to open their eyes. I mean, the first step to seeing beyond the programming is to see how you've been programmed, right? So we're trying to break through from the programming. I mean, with the Tao Te Ching, Seraphim Rose, Aleister Crowley, the occult magician. You know what I mean? But yeah, we got more reflections on Elul, especially his theories on economics. You guys are going to want to really get into that because this whole, Mises versus Marx dialectic is totally stale. I mean, we need to look at the objective factor of power in our age, the real mover of culture and economic trends and the scientific enterprise, right? Which is technique. Right? I just found out today that Elul actually named his book Technique, the Wager of the Century, before it was translated into English, and then they gave the book, the work, the Technological Society. So shit is getting
it happens, especially when they try to cater to American audience.
Yeah.
So they'll change titles.
Yeah, so think of that Technique, the Wager of the Century, and he often
It
uses.
sounds like a better title, though.
Yeah, except for it wouldn't have as much force in terms of like people talking specifically about technology. I think it would have been made into like some type of philosophy book.
True.
So the sociological impact of it and it having the scientific sort of authority that it has. Right? Yeah, I found out dope videos from Dr. Lori Johnson. Or bring those up. Tons of biographical information about Elul in those videos. We'll bring back the whole sketch I'm painting about the Technological Society. But yeah, I was looking at, I actually downloading, showing my friend Firestarter, the series we're doing here. Over 40 episodes here. each of the videos contains like 2 to 3 hours explanations of Elul's technological society. So combined, it's like 80 hours or something of Elul, just on this show, right? So if you're trying to understand, theories about modernism, technology, sociology, all that type of stuff, it's no better place to start than taking a look at the Technological Society by Jacques Ellul. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. And yeah, blessings. Yeah, thank you,
Easy.
Reggie. Yeah, peace, homie. And of course, we got Cthulhu out here for the masses. Gonna drown y'all in a sea of noise. That's how it goes. Complexity breeds assimilation, and conformity in our age is nothing more than conformity to the technological system. Right? So, resist the urge to be replaced by the mechanical, the death urge, apocalyptic death urge, techno-nihilism. Yeah, blessings to you guys. I'm very tired. Thank you guys.
take part in what you call a life. You know, I never know a life. I don't even know what life is, you know. I go to the desert, I'm not even allowed to live in the desert. I'm no good for anything except to be used. You're a kid, so I'm used every day of my life. I've been used. Every day of my life I've been used. Every day of my life I've been used. I'm no good for anything. I'm no good for anything except to be used. You're a kid, so I'm used every day of my life I've been used.
Military Mars. Military Mars.
Tragedy Gaddafi. Black Medina.
Military Mars. Got these devils petrified. Got these devils petrified. Military Mars. Military Mars. Got these devils petrified. Got these devils petrified.
Tragedy Gaddafi. Black Medina.
Military Mars. Military Mars.
Ghetto apostle. Soundtracks to the streets.
Military Mars. Military Mars.
Ghetto apostle. Soundtracks to the streets.
Military Mars. Military Mars.
Ghetto apostle. Soundtracks to the streets.
Military Mars. Military Mars.
Ghetto apostle. Soundtracks to the streets.
Military Mars. Military Mars.
Prophetic lines, scratch that, I spit that another time. Fast forward the paradigm, hip-hop's a love of mine. Predetermined to die like Sandy Hook and Columbine. I'm just trying to block out all the noises. Like the news is poisonous, cause it destroys us. Controlled by the very corporations that employ us. Assassinate the characters of those who try to warn us. Magnify the personal problems of us performers. That's called misdirection. On a global level, take the minds off the problem that affect us. Next comes some affair or scandal. Really, it's a shambles, so you can't focus on a real vandal. They feminized the game down. Everybody's gay now. To buy for me, my line's still apocryphy for those down. 3 years state bound, locked up but out now. From a lost tribe of Sebastian that we all found.
There is an indefinable, mysterious power that pervades everything. I feel it, though I do not see it. It is this unseen power which makes itself felt and yet defies all truth. because it is so unlike all that I have seen.
Mind over matter, manifestation of great minds. So much pain in my life, at times I hated mine, but the past built character for Adam and shine. Maybe I'm just similar to semi-autos when they bust. No justice is just us in this world of lust, crushed by the past, resurrected at last. Time will move fast for those who move slow, show and prove though. Life is a blessing if knowledge of man grows. Religion is confinement, my alignment is like stars laying in the galaxy on consignment. Far as rap go, illest intellectual flow, you know, like a Rosicrucian, my lines produce solutions. Comedic sciences, esoteric alliances can tell you what the future hold. I did it on Illuminati, Mahdi, say wisdom of Gandhi, buried in Palestine, Asia Minor, where you find me.
It transcends the senses, but it is possible to reason out the existence of God to a limited extent. Even in ordinary affairs, we know that people do not know who ruled or why and how he ruled. And yet they know.